all that and go.
Boom, boom, ba boom, 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 boom.
That's enough of that. It needs an electric guitar.
That was incredible.
No. Is that the intro, or should we just jump right in?
That's the intro to the show.
That's the intro to the show, because you know what we're watching. We just watched War Games, War Pigs, Black Sabbath, Shoot Brothers. That's what we are. After all that. I am Mike the Shoot Shepherd. He's Cameron Thunder Osborne.
Bang!
And we are here. We have survived. There's a lot of collateral damage. But the war is over.
War is over if you want it.
I never knew those were the words.
War is
I know that song.
over now. Oh, that's a holiday song too. That's right.
It's like a Christmas song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, so this is Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
What have you done? Yeah, that's the one of those classic walking around the mall Christmas tunes. My name's Cameron Osborne. Thanks for listening, folks. Great show.
Was the first thing you were singing the same song?
I think it was the same song, but I was singing. I kicked off with the children chorus. Of course, the saddest group of people that can ever sing together is a group of prepubescent kids. Just hearing all the voices of prepubescent kids sing in harmony and unison, it's truly downtrodden.
Yeah, it's but every now and then, like we were talking about the wall off air, you got to get those little choir boys in to fill out your track.
Yeah. You need that that education.
Yeah. All in all.
Hey, God, this isn't a movie. This isn't a music review, lyric or instrumentation review podcast. No, this is a professional wrestling podcast. Yes. And Mike, like you said earlier on the show, of course, we've got a great show coming up. All the normal hits and super kicks, as it were. But first off, we have to go to war with NXT.
Review. War, baby. Like we said, War Pigs was the theme. And I think this was actually a well-picked theme. Doesn't matter that the song's 50 years old. It's perfect. It's a great track. Heavy metal classic.
Heavy metal classic. That's right. I guess did they never have the theme before or whatever? They still did that thing. This was the theme they kept playing, but they still cut to that little music promo they always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that little music promo where suddenly Vic Joseph or Michael Cole is telling you to listen to some band on Spotify that you've never heard of before? They still did that little cut at some point, but
well, it's funny that they even did that for War Pigs. They're like, it's now available, War Pigs on Apple Music.
You're like, now available?
Like 50 years
That's
ago.
right. Black Sabbath was exclusive to Tidal before tonight and the move over. But that's right. We got our War Pigs. We got our War Games. We got big matchups, of course. We have the 2 War Games matches.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's kick off with the women's War Games match. First time here in the CWC. It was kind of different the way they had the cage set up rather than lowering it. It was like like a garage door almost. The way they folded up into the ring.
It was all like hydrauliced in, which was pretty...
so that was cool.
Which was different, yeah.
So anyways, we got Team Shotzi, Mrs. Blackheart, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Ember Moon taking on Team Candice with LeRae, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Toni Storm. And as I speculated, Shotzi Blackheart debuts a nice new tank. Looks a bit bigger, a bit more mobile. She was able to like pivot 360 degrees.
Oh, way bigger. If that thing had taken out Robert Stonebrand,
God.
he would actually have been hobbled.
We'd be calling him Robert Terry Fox Brand.
Oh, God.
Sorry. This one, it even had a cannon on the front, the tank, and it worked. Mm-hmm. She shot a rocket at the cage, so that was fine. Anyways, Dakota Kai chooses to start for her team, and then Ember Moon wants to take the lead for Team Shotzi, so that's what we get going on. They're having a good back and forth. 5 minutes go by, and then team captain Shotzi Blackheart comes out, but she has to make a pit stop. She grabs a toolbox and a crowbar from under the ring, which I don't think we ever saw the crowbar again, did we?
It didn't come. If it did, it didn't come into play in any meaningful way that sort of meant something to me, which is weird. So throughout this match and the next match, they only went to one place to ever grab shit.
It was like the pit stop. For
it was kind of like I pictured a little like somebody on the other end just kind of pushing the next person's stuff up into it.
Yeah, it was funny. But so anyways, Moon and Shotzi, they're working together. Timer goes off. Raquel Gonzalez comes out of the shark cage, so the big bad girl makes an impact right away. She's just tossing people everywhere, slamming bodies into cages. Dakota does a cool like double diving clothesline where she jumps from one ring over to the other. Always fun to play around with that stuff. And then Rhea Ripley comes out next, and then she gets a hold of that toolbox and opens it up, and inside there's like a mini sledgehammer, a mallet, if you will.
That's what you would call it, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so she starts clocking people with that. And she takes off her belt, and you think she's going to whip Dakota with it, but instead she like puts it around her waist and pulls her in close like a elementary school dance. And just like then she just like tosses her in the cage like that. So Dakota got flung around quite a bit. She took a good beating here.
Mm-hmm. But everyone did.
Yeah, that's true. So Raquel and Ripley, they're having their big girl showdown when Toni Storm comes out next, and she has to make a stop under the ring, grabs a bunch of kendo sticks, starts ripping off the turnbuckle paddings. So then Ripley gets beaten around with those for a while. And yeah, there's a big, all 6 women in the ring get taken out at once, which lets the clock run down for Io Shirai, who comes running out, and she's got to make a stop as well, of course. Grabs a bunch of ladders, slides those in the rings, but then Raquel blocks her from entering the cage, just keeps knocking her down, kicking her off. So Io grabs some chairs, throws them in, and Raquel catches one, and then Io just hangs onto the cage like a monkey bar and kicks the chair right into her face. That was, I gotta say, Io throws some stiff kicks.
Yeah, no, Io goes there.
She just kicks, like, you're gonna hold the chair, you better fucking know where it's coming. But she still does not fully enter the cage. She just keeps getting knocked out. And then Toni Storm uses her belt to hold the door shut. But this whole time, the clock's still running, so we get our final entrant. Candice LeRae comes running down. She squares off with Io. But then Indy Hartwell appears, jumps over the barricade, clocks Io with a chain, which then they use to lock the cage after that. So Shirai's locked out. Candice gets inside. She's got trash cans.
It's all in there at this point.
Everything's in there but Io. So the match still hasn't officially started, even though, I mean, it has, but they can't pin each other yet. So they're all in there. They're Shotzi Blackheart at one point. They're just like triple teaming her with kendo sticks. She was taking a good beating. Everyone was, like you said. But, eventually everyone's just brawling in the middle of the ring. And then the first big crazy spot, everyone looks up to the sky, and it's Io Shirai. She's standing on top of the cage, and she's got a trash can with her. And what does she do with that can? She just puts it over her head, blindfolds herself, and just fucking free dives onto the crowd below in crazy, insane spot.
Big spot. I wonder if she carried it up with her. I think that's a feat in its own.
I don't know how she got it.
How'd you get it up there?
Either way, even if someone tossed it to her, she'd have
did she have to catch it? Yeah. How the hell did you get this garbage can up to the top of the cage? That doesn't make sense.
But yeah, such a cool spot. Never seen anything like that. So big trust from everyone involved to be able to catch her too.
Mm-hmm.
So, she did the moonsault last year. You're thinking, how's she going to top it? And then she does this.
She does.
So anyways, the match can officially begin. Io and Dakota have a big back and forth thing. And then more trash can. Io gets set. She's laying down on the mat, and then Dakota puts the trash can around her head, covering her up again, and then just hits a vicious double foot stomp and just crushes it around Io.
That was wild.
Yeah. She had to she couldn't
get it off.
She was like a baked potato.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that was probably my favorite spot of the whole show. That was watching her trying to get out of this, because I think and then Toni Storm's trying to Dakota's trying to go for the pin. And she's trying to she's
like, I gotta get her out.
I gotta get her out of this thing. And
the ref's gotta see the shoulder.
It was that was probably my spot of the match, I gotta say.
No, that was great. Very cool. Just the way it crushed right over her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's taking a good beating here. And then Ember Moon sets up some chairs. in the seated position, and then she hits a big eclipse onto Dakota, onto the edge of the chairs. Looks like she's dead.
The eclipse onto the chairs, that looked good too.
Yeah. Everyone hits their finishers. Tony hits a Storm Zero onto a trash can. Shotzi and Candice are going at it. And then they set up a ladder. Shotzi climbs to the top of the ladder, goes for the big senton on Candice, but she grabs a chair, tries to block it, hurts them both. And Candice ends up getting legit hurt. Apparently like a wrist injury or something.
Broken arm.
Possibly fractured. Yeah, fractured wrist. She was pretty much out of the rest of the match, but that was near the end anyways, so... Everyone's just getting taken out one by one until it comes down to Raquel and Io. They're fighting. They climb up the turnbuckles right between the two rings. And there's a ladder in between them set up horizontally. Io tries to Hurricane Rana Raquel off the side of the cage, but the strength of Gonzalez just holds on, hits her massive one-arm powerbomb off the top, through the ladder. Another crazy spot for Io. And that's your finish. Raquel gets the big 3 count. Big win for her and the team.
Huge win for her.
But damn, Io Shirai putting it all on the line in like 3 big spots.
Yeah, off the cage, two garbage can spots, and then through the table onto that unforgiving middle of the ring part.
I mean, this might be my favorite War Games ever. This was such a great match.
Yeah,
I thought they all
it really was. Yeah, it was booked fun. The violence great.
Everyone took a beating.
And I mean, and like we've said a million times on the show, and we'll continue to say again, like these are the best female wrestlers on the planet are in this division. So it sort of seems like the thing that maybe we can expect for a long time to come, just non-stop incredible women's matches.
Yeah. And when a match is this good, you don't even care who wins. You're like, I'm just ready to have some fun.
Yeah, I wasn't. My heart wasn't as bound to anybody. It was. I was surprised. I was surprised to have the baby faces go over.
Yeah, no, Raquel getting the pin too.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the heels go over. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, the heels. Yeah. That's okay. But for 2 years in a row, Team Candice, or I guess Candice LeRae's team. I don't know who was captain last year, but
taking big losses.
Won both years.
I think last year it was Ripley and Shirai. I think were the 2 team captains.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. And that's when Dakota Kai turned heel and set the whole thing in motion.
But they still get the win, I think.
Yeah, the heels won both times.
No. I think Team Ripley won last time.
Well, Candice was a babyface then. So
fuck. Who the hell knows?
That's what I'm confused.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're thinking. Yeah.
That's what anyways, let's just move right along here because they don't even give you a chance to breathe. We got another heavy match coming right up. Tommaso Ciampa taking on Timothy Thatcher. And this was just some damn good wrestling. 2 very proficient grapplers. And I think pretty much every Ciampa match going forward just got a built-in storyline where you can just target the neck. And Thatcher does that.
See, the good part about getting...
Every head bump, every DDT.
The good part about getting a serious injury in professional wrestling is you can always go back and play that angle.
Exactly. But we got lots of that. Lots of submissions, big heavy strikes, uppercuts everywhere, punches. Ciampa starts throwing out these massive knees, hits Thatcher right in the head, which apparently had split open his ear and he's bleeding profusely.
Busted open his ear. Which is always a cool place to bleed from because you're not supposed to bleed from your ear.
No. I know. Instantly, I'm thinking like, whoa, ruptured eardrum? What's going on?
You don't know because in the movies, that's what it looks like.
That's bad news. But it looked amazing. Great visual because he just starts like looking in the camera. He's got blood running down into his ear.
And he's such a crazy looking motherfucker.
He just looks psycho already. Yeah. So they're fucking going nuts. I think it might have been Ciampa's knee brace. I think he wears that out of the pants. That might have caught his ear.
That makes sense.
But anyways, they keep going after that. Ciampa fights back. Thatch fights back. Ciampa goes for a backslide. Thatcher, he rolls through the ropes, but Ciampa just ties him up and then spikes him hard with the Willow's Bell DDT. And that gets him the win.
Beautiful. Not stoked on the outcome, but excuse me, part 2 in the fight pit. In the fight pit. Or maybe that's part 3. I don't know, but
Either way, excellent match.
Yeah, this was just that hard-hitting pro wrestling and really like there wasn't really many stakes kind of leading up to this match either.
Yeah, Ciampa just kind of appeared out of nowhere on the Thatch.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago or something, or maybe it was even just last week. So who even knows? With a second week to this, and like you've said before, what's Ciampa got left to do in NXT? He's got nothing left to do. So is this where you just kind of start making the rounds of all the other good performers?
I don't know.
He does a program with Thatcher, and then this time next year he's onto a program with somebody else he's never worked with before, and then
or maybe the Fight Pit can become the end of NXT careers. Like that's where Riddle lost and he moved on.
Oh my God! If Thatcher can have his own mania streak of the Thatcher's Fight Pit streak is.
And if you lose, you don't come back to NXT.
Yeah, that's like the shtick. Yeah, that'd be sick.
love Triple H.
I'd love to see it. Hunter, book it, Hunter.
Yeah.
Fight Pit.
Oh boy! But at this point, we're 2 for 2 on the War Game show. I'm like, this is on pace to be one of the best takeovers ever. I'm not saying anything, but the next match maybe didn't quite keep as much of the hype going, but it was still fun. We had Dexter Lumis taking on Cameron Grimes in that strap match. And Grimey, he's up to something. He comes out, he's got his own strap with him. The ref's like, hey, that's not the strap.
He insists on using his own strap.
He's like, I'm not going to fight. We don't use my strap. So the ref's like, you okay with this, Lumis? Lumis just stares off. So he's like, okay, I guess he's okay. So Grimes tries to cheap shot him, beats him around, but eventually they get strapped together. And, they doing this typical strap stuff, trying to choke each other. Grimes keeps going for Lumis's eyes. Just like, I don't know, choking his eyes.
Well, we did have that blindfold match not too long ago, so I think that was kind of the callback there, maybe.
Right. Those cold, scary eyes. He doesn't want to look at them anymore.
Exactly.
So, anyways, but Lumis, he's using the strap like a leash, just like pulling Grimes back, keeping him from running. But later on, Grimes, he goes over to the official strap, which is kept in a nice black sack.
Yep, the strap sack.
The strap sack, yes. But he doesn't want the strap. He takes that out and puts the bag over Lumis's head to blindfold him once again. Then just starts slapping him around with the strap. And then he grabs a steel chair, starts hitting Lumis with that, but it's all legal here. And then he seats the chair down, puts Lumis in it. So he's sitting, and then he goes for a big running cave-in stomp, but Lumis avoids that. They have a little tussle, and then Lumis ends up wrapping the strap around Grimes' legs, and then he yanks the strap, pulls his legs out, and then Grimes falls and slams his head right on a seated chair.
Ooh.
Or he just missed. It looked like
it looked like he kind of hit it.
It was a very good spot. Yeah, he slapped his hand hard and made it look really good. And then Dexter follows up by locking in the silence, and poor Grimey has to tap out.
Yeah, Grimey gets the tap. It's too bad. He busted his ass.
Yeah, he worked
busted
hard.
His ass in this match to make the gimmick work.
One really cool. He does that one move where he does like a shooting star press while flipping with you and like slamming you.
Oh yeah, that is a good. I think of that kind of more looking just being a shooting star, but he just what does he do?
He like catches you midair. Yeah,
and
he
then
did that with the leash, or like he pulled him in with the strap and then did it. It looked really cool.
Yeah. He's I think this was more for Dexter Lumis, who needed a good match. Cameron Grimes in these kind of few months, and maybe this is just because I think he's sick. He sort of seems like he can work a good match anytime with anybody.
Yeah.
Great performer and even better character. Just everybody's got a Cameron Grimes impression.
Yeah. And when
they're all good.
Yeah, that War Games clip you sent me on the weekend when everyone's doing their impression.
Yeah. Grimes was the best.
He faked it out. He's like, what? And what did he? I forget what he said.
I forget what he said.
Who wants to go Cameron Grimes?
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he can be he can pop up on NXT and he'll be fine.
Yes. Then I think we get a brief video with a vulture and a clock, TikTok. So, Karrion Kross.
TikTok.
Back soon.
TikTok.
Kesha. Okay.
Don't stop.
That's right. She inspired one of the biggest apps of all time.
Which, TikTok?
Yeah. It's even spelled the same.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, then they also announced New Year's Evil, the NXT Wednesday special for the first Wednesday in January.
Ooh.
So, hey, that'll be fun.
That'll be nice of them.
It's a month away, roughly.
Yeah.
speaking of Ruff, it's Leon Ruff defending that North American title against Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano. Triple threat match here. And you know what? I really liked the storytelling. They had me rooting for Ruff really hard by the end of this thing. The tiny underdog, baby face, small guy. Easy to cheer for.
Literally, very small guy. You see the promo photo of the three of them. It's just sort of like, it says War Games at the front and then the three of them always standing. You can picture the photo. You can tell how much they've had to enlarge Leon Ruff to make him not look incredibly awkward beside Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. Damian Priest is a big motherfucker too. So it kind of it makes everything look big. So it makes his shoulders look the belt you see it on his body, but they've enlarged the body to be the same size as Damian Priest.
Looks like the old big gold belt.
Yeah,
now.
The belt looks like it would cover Damian your entire chest. The entire thing would just be the center plate. I don't know. They could, but way to go, Leon Ruff.
Way to go, Leon. Priest is hesitant to beat him up. He's just kind of telling him, "Go home, Leon. Don't get hurt. Just get out of here." But Ruff starts swinging at him.
He wants to fight.
Priest has no choice. Yeah. Eventually, the three men, they're all fighting outside. Leon goes for a big dive. Priest just catches him, hoists him up into the crucifix powerbomb, and just slams him through this barricade. Knocks it over, destroys it. And then some lady in the background, did you see her knock over the other barricade?
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
She was like, "Oh my God."
Just some production assistant or something who's just, there to make sure everything's above board, clearly, whatever. She had a job. She's getting paid. And just the way she fell back into the second panel. Like, oh, no.
The look on her face, though, she was like, "Oh, did I just fuck something up?
Yeah.
Did I ruin the match?"
Yeah. I pray that this woman's not fired right now.
It was funny, though.
Yeah.
Big bump. So Ruff's destroyed. He's taken out. The officials come. Just escort him to the back. So he's gone. Priest is like, "I'm sorry, man." But then Johnny jumps Priest. The two of them are going at it. And then a little later, though, Leon Ruff's come running back. He's all fired up. I was fired up. He looked pretty legit here. He got some good offense in. He hits this amazing... It was like a springboard corkscrew cutter. I've never seen it before, that version. I don't know. Big 2 count. I bit.
Yeah, and I think Wade Barrett, what I noticed most about that, and this is probably just me, Wade Barrett called it a cutter, and you never hear anybody in WWE call it a cutter. Or you never see somebody do it. I don't know. It was weird. It's not a word you hear very often on the on the main roster. Certainly not.
Yeah, I think that's just because the main roster guys.
Well, I've never heard Michael Cole say cutter. Ever.
No, I just think on the main roster, even though it's a cutter, it's a twist of fate or it's an RKO.
Exactly. Yeah, or it's the something else that we can kind of call it.
They've already, because those wrestlers were around when DDP was still around, so they had to change the name.
Yeah. No. Very much so.
So anyways, Ruff's looking good. He's getting some close calls, but then, Priest, everyone gets taken out, and then these Ghostface show up. Once again, the Ghostface are here. So
once again, contrary to all copyright law, Ghostface.
And then they're calling them Ghostface. They're calling them Ghostface.
Capital G Ghostface.
So they're here. Since it's a triple threat, though, there's no rules. So they're beating down Priest. Ruff tries to help him out. Everyone gets taken out. And then soon after, Damian, he's got Gargano lined up for the reckoning. But then another, I don't even know how many Ghostface at this point, but smacks him in the back with a steel pipe. Yeah, one looked a bit chunkier than the others. So he smacks Priest with a steel pipe, so he's taken out. And then Gargano hits the one final beat on Ruff and pins him to recapture the North American title for a record third time.
No, third time. Leon.
Third time. Poor Leon.
Oh, I heard you.
Good match, though. I really like the Leon Ruff storyline of him getting, just a little guy that won't give up.
Little guy that won't give up. You can't say no to that. Mike, when he was thrown against that first board and the sort of the refs needed to take him away. The classic scene where all the refs kind of huddle around him, help him up and help him out. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, amongst some of those refs, male and some of whom female. I don't know if you noticed that. Mike, you may have seen that. A little woman by the name of Asia Smith. I'm not sure if you're aware of this particular official.
Is she
Mike,
married to another wrestler?
Recently engaged to Mike. I think
yes.
this may be the first case, at least certainly in NXT history. But Mike, Mr. Encyclopedia, please let me know where where fiancés refed or officiated a match in which one competed in.
Maybe. I'm sure there might have been. I mean, if we want to get technical, like Stephanie McMahon refereeing a match or Triple H or something when they were engaged,
maybe skewing the results in somebody else's
things
favor.
Like that.
But no, on this evening,
this was not acknowledged on television. You knew this through social media.
On this particular evening, that is correct. Asia Smith could not sway the cards in the favor of her fiance Leon Ruff. Couldn't make it happen. Not to say it can't happen in the future, though. WWE NXT has two female officials on staff. So, bring it on. Bring it on.
And that female ring announcer is getting pretty good now, too.
Exactly.
I forget her name.
I think it's about time the women start fucking shit up down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, on the corporate level. Like, we have, it's always Adam Pearce. It's always a Shane McMahon type. There's never, we need a top dog up there.
I mean, William Regal's doing a pretty good job, though.
Yeah, I know. But we need some baddie.
A successor?
To, just kick the shit out of William Regal and take this over.
Well, maybe this mysterious Xia Li head honcho person. They look pretty evil.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So Johnny's celebrating his big win when one of the Ghostface removes his mask, revealing, as predicted on this show, Austin Theory. And he does the famous Vince McMahon quote, "It's me, Austin. It was me all along."
Wait, didn't we know that already?
Context? We didn't know it was Austin Theory, but I knew it.
Wait, how did we not know? I swear like 3 weeks ago.
They revealed Indy Hartwell, and they never officially revealed Austin Theory.
Okay, because he took off the mask, and I remember not being surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I just like the quote he used.
Okay, maybe for some reason in my head I was like, "Yeah, I already knew that." I don't know. that was underwhelming, just personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Austin Theory in general, he's not top tier.
No.
No offense.
Whatever.
Do you know the quote? Do you know the reference?
No, I did not.
It's me, Austin.
No.
It's me all along. It was Vince McMahon. For months and months back when The Undertaker had his Ministry of Darkness. It was basically his Dark Order, a bunch of minions. And it was the same. They had a higher power as well. And they were teasing this higher power for months. They captured Stephanie McMahon. They fucked with Austin. And then he took off the mask, and it was Vince McMahon all along. And it didn't make any sense because he kidnapped his own daughter, and it was all this weird shit. But then he's just like, "It's me, Austin. It was me all along."
That's what people didn't like. It's like, I didn't like when he kidnapped his own daughter, but other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird because he negotiated to get her back, but he was the one who kidnapped her and all this bullshit.
Yeah,
she got crucifixed on live TV.
Jesus Christ.
Well, not yes, Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
I mean, they didn't put a stake through her arm or anything. They just tied her to the Undertaker's.
Yeah, I presumed. Yeah,
and they ran.
Yeah,
it was cool. But we couldn't get away with that these days.
No, probably not. No, it would just upset too many people.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a fictional television show, if someone did that on Sons of Anarchy, people would be okay with it.
I'm sure they have, and I'm sure people were.
But let's go to the main event. We've got the men's War Games match. Of course, it's their match, Undisputed Era. They're taking on Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch. The brand, if you will.
For the brand.
Kyle O'Reilly's choosing to start for Undisputed Era. Well, Pete Dunne starts for the brand. These two, they have some good history. And some good technical wrestling going on here for the first 5 minutes until Oney Lorcan joins the fray. They start double teaming, pounding on Kyle O'Reilly until his buddy Bobby Fish comes down, evens things up. So we get some good tag team action for a bit. And then Danny Burch is out next. He makes the first pit stop of the match, goes under the ring, grabs his orange bag little mini duffel bag or something.
Yeah, again, somebody's on the other side of the ring just kind of like pushing these items forward because we're going to the exact same place every single time.
Yeah. Someone had to.
Which I guess, I mean, there's not much room to maneuver around, so I totally get it. It was just weird.
Yeah, it's just a production thing.
Yeah.
But what's in the orange bag? Turns out to be a pair of cricket bats.
A pair of them?
Yeah, a pair of them. That's what they're called. Just bats, right? There's no special.
Yeah, probably.
They don't call it like a
nip.
The old nip.
Yeah, I'm sure they call it something fucked and like crazy and British like that. The cricket nip.
Yeah, Wade Barrett would know. He was the one dropping references,
and he was great. He was fantastic all night.
Names we don't know, but yeah, they were swinging around, hitting people with the cricket bats. Think, oh, that's like Nigel Clicker of the I don't know,
Nigel Clicker of the Puffington Academies.
Fanny wags. So, anyways, we're getting some fun with that. Kyle O'Reilly's got Danny Burch in this leg lock, and he taps out, but does not matter. War Games has not begun yet, so we're getting close though. As Roddy Strong, he's the next one out, makes this 3-on-3, so Roddy's running wild, just starts beating the shit out of everyone, but then the Brands start to take over as the countdown begins, and their final member, Pat McAfee's released. He makes his way down to the ring, but he makes a pit stop, goes underneath, and pulls out 4 personalized tables, all for the members of Undisputed Era. How cute.
That was so nice.
Customized sweaters and shirts with their names on it. So they put them all in the ring. They set them all up around in various positions. Roddy Strong, he's the first one to get it. They put him down on his table, lay him out across it. Pat McAfee climbs the top rope and hits a beautiful, picture-perfect moonsault. Crashes through Roddy and the table. That was great. Great form.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was something he's posted on his Instagram before. You know, when he just kind of falls on one of those little crash pads that they use?
The high jump mat.
Oh, we know he can do it. He knows he can do it. And that's what I guess it's the confidence in doing shit, you know?
And, you know, you get he has a body and a table to ease some of the landing.
Exactly.
But then finally, our last member, Adam Cole's released. He comes down. He has to make a stop, grab some weapons. He sprays the Brand in the face with a fire extinguisher. Excuse me. Comes in with a chair. And now War Games has officially begun. So he starts just hitting him. He starts nailing everyone with the chair. Everyone's just brawling, hitting big moves all over the place. Pat McAfee's working over Adam Cole's leg. We get our next table bump as Undisputed Era. They set Lorcan across the table. And then they powerbomb Pete Dunne on top of him. But the table doesn't break. So it's because it was the Adam Cole table. It wasn't meant for Lorcan.
That's what it was.
Roddy Strong improvises. He just climbs up the top rope and splashes onto them. Breaks the table. So good job, Roddy.
He figures out how to break the thing.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it. And then we go to the other ring where O'Reilly's got the table set up. The O'Reilly table is set up in the middle. McAfee tries to superplex Cole off the top onto it, but Cole just blocks and shoves McAfee off the top rope. He crashes through the table in the middle of the ring. So Undisputed Era take over for a bit. They've got the Brand. There's one cool part where like the 3 guys are just sandwiched between the ropes and the cage, and they just take turns super kicking the shit
I like that. Yeah, each did burn the thing. Roddy came up, gave a knee, and then I think the other guys gave like stiff shots to the head.
Yeah,
Adam Cole super kick.
kicks.
Next guy fell. Okay, next up in line. Let's go. That was a fun bit.
So then Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, they climb up the cage. Cole hits a cool, just like diving neck breaker off the side of the cage to Dunne. And then all 7 men are brawling. But where's the 8th man? Pat McAfee. He's climbed up to the top of the cage, and then he hits a big swanton bomb off the roof onto the group, onto the floor. Big bump for him.
Big bump. Wiped everyone out. And at this point, we're like 45 minutes in.
Yeah, this was a long match, but it flowed well. Pat worked really hard, had those big moves. But we still have one table left. The Bobby Fish table is set up diagonally in between the 2 rings. So just kind of slanted there, and Bobby Fish just ends up spearing Lorcan through the table. And then Adam Cole hits the Panama Sunrise on McAfee, who, gotta say, does a great job of backflipping onto his head.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, but Pat kicks out somehow. And then soon after, Pete Dunne hits the bitter end on Cole onto a steel chair. But Undisputed Era take care of him. Yeah, I think eventually everyone's just getting all taken out. Danny Burch gets hit with a bunch of drop kicks with chairs. And then finally, Kyle O'Reilly hits a big knee off the top rope onto a chair, onto Burch's head. And that gets the 3 count. Undisputed Era wins.
Undisputed Era gets the win. Kyle O'Reilly delivering the pin. Fantastic. I think my favorite quote of all this was Wade Barrett talking about Pat McAfee. He says he has the athleticism of Seth Rollins and the hateability of The Miz. I think that was my favorite description of that. Exactly it. And even throughout the time, he kept wanting to leave the cage, and everybody else was like, no. And then he would go,
lose.
Okay, go for it. And even just like looking at him do that, you're like, I fucking hate you.
The shark cage. Sorry. Yeah.
The shark cages. Yeah.
No.
At the very, very beginning. Yeah, it's weird. I guess it was just the 2 War Games matches in a row, or sorry, not in a row, but like on the same show. I almost felt like it was too much. I wonder if you can separate those two. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, because I mean, like the McAfee spot was the exact same as the Io Shirai spot. Jumping off the top into, or I guess one had
Not
a garbage can,
cool.
one had a swanton, right? But exactly, the swanton off the top would have been way cooler had we not seen the garbage can spot maybe earlier on in the night. Both used like everything. Both were like great matches, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, like you said, this Undisputed Era's match. Everyone took a great amount of bumps, and Pat McAfee is looking for his big next matchup.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in his performances, I'd say.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd give the edge to the Women's War Games match this year overall, but they're both fun.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing, and I would wonder though, if we saw the men's first, what would I think?
I still would.
Yeah, well, that's just
I know how I work.
Yeah, I know how I know how you work too. But that's what I would think. Yeah, would spots look cooler or feel different had I experienced them first rather than second? That's what I think about. I mean, I can do 2 War Games pay-per-views a year. Sure, give it to me. Give me the men on one, women on the other. I'm down with that.
Well, until next year.
Probably around this time, we'll have another War Games, and that was the entire pay-per-view.
That was your takeover.
Let's get into the week, shall we? Let's get into some new Tweet of the Week champions. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. Notice how I said and new. Oh my god! I love
and you said champions.
Yeah, I realized that. I realized I shouldn't have said it with the S after there. This week's Tweet League champion goes to now 5-time Tweet League champion CM Punk. Often doing his he sort of he'll post on Twitter or something like, I'm answering questions for the next 10 minutes or whatever, and or however it goes. And of course, he was asked a question about Pat McAfee. Is there and the question was, do you think that he should be should he commit himself full time to being an NXT performer, right? And we see him on every week and, leading a faction, whatever it might be. CM Punk's, you're a Tweet of the Week champion, bud. He responded by saying, there is zero reason for him to commit fully to being a wrestler. He's already the best thing on the show, not named Rhea Ripley. Didn't know CM Punk was such a big Rhea Ripley fan, and I guess if NXT is producing all this incredible talent, and out of all that incredible talent, he thinks Rhea Ripley's the best.
I could see that. I could see him liking her style.
Yeah, that's the best. The best of it all. He's a punk rocker. She's a punk rocker.
Exactly. All right, Mr. Punk. Congrats,
Mr. Punk. Please come this way, Mr. Punk.
Yeah. Okay, well, shall we just get into things?
Let's keep moving, Michael.
Mosey on over to the SmackDown show.
Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. no, wait. They used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Kayla Braxton's out here with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jey Uso, and going over all the hijinks. And, you know, I got to say, Kayla, once again, bringing the heat. She's not asking easy questions. Asking Reigns if he fears Owens and all this stuff. Reigns just laughs and says, you know, this interview could have been the biggest thing you ever done with your career, and you come here and ask me stupid questions. But anyways, she's not scared. She brings more thunder, asking Jey if Roman's using him as a pawn. And anyways, Reigns has had enough of this bullshit. So eventually I think Owens comes out, interrupts them, and says, hey, man, let's fight. And Reigns says, nah, I'll fight you at TLC. So Owens says, grow some balls, you're just a bitch. So there's your big swears.
There's your big swear word. Wow.
Yeah. But they will fight at TLC. We know that. Owens and Reigns.
Yeah, it's all been gold. Not quite repetitive yet, but yeah, it sort of seems like it sort of seems like this story is less week to week, more just like overarching, instead of what's happening between Jey Uso and Roman on a week to week basis versus like where it all started and where it all ended. Because yeah, it's just like keeps building this little hill of resentment. Jey Uso can't quite get to the top of it. Who knows what this is going to be like when this whole comes to an end.
We shall see. But then we go to Bayley taking on Natalya, Bianca Belair on commentary, which distracts Bayley. She's talking trash at her, but so Natalya locks Bayley in the sharpshooter, picks up a bit of a surprising win.
Ooh, yeah, Natalia's what's she? Who knows? This was the weekly AEW moment for the main roster. So maybe taking a page out of their playbook and putting the women's division match in the middle of a commercial break.
Yeah, we didn't.
Which we see, we get Belair on commentary. She's the next to shoot to the top because the next time we see the women's action, or the next time we see the women's kind of stories on the show, it's just sort of like a interview between Sasha and Carmella. Yeah,
they just had like a little split screen chirping at each other, and I think they agree to settle it at TLC. So Sasha Carmella, that'll just be your filler feud. We know Bianca Belair is going to be coming for Sasha sooner than later.
Yeah, Bianca Belair Bayley. That's going to be a good one. That's also going to be very, very hard to say. That's going to be a real tongue twister for Michael Cole. A lot of
that could be your number one contender match, maybe.
Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Banks. See, Carmella doesn't fit anywhere in that B structure, so you can tell she's going to be out of the. You can tell she's not involved with this going forward.
Yeah.
Speaking of some B's, though. We've got...
I don't know. What do you
got? Brian, Daniel, Big E.
Oh, that's where
we were going up to some tag action. I was trying to keep the B's going.
We should have been talking about P's because this was the Double P Pat Patterson tribute match. Featuring 6 former Intercontinental champions. They even had the OG Intercontinental title at ringside. The really old one. The big hunk of metal.
The big hunk of... Is that what they... That's
like,
what I call it. Oh, it was like, WCW was the big gold belt, the big hunk of metal.
And they did play the nice video tribute beforehand for Pat Patterson with my favorite karaoke song, My Way, the Frank Sinatra.
Oh, that's it, eh?
And even Pat was singing himself.
Oh, way to go.
He was good. Anyways, all those 6 men, Bryan, Mysterio, Big E, Ziggler, Nakamura, Sami Zayn, all former Intercontinental champions. And 1 current champion. And Big E debuting some brand new entrants. Graphics, theme, everything.
New Titan, new music, a new color. Still the same getup, still wearing the same kind of clothes.
Same kind of outfit. He brought back the bowl of chalk, clapping that chalk in the air.
That was a bring back?
Pre-New Day he used to do that.
Oh, okay. I thought that may have been a Pat Patterson thing. That was in my mind.
No, nothing to do with that.
But that's good. New shit.
When did LeBron stop doing his chalk thing?
I don't know. I feel like he still does it, but like it's not as big of a deal. Yeah.
I think he gave it up.
I mean, the amount of money he was wasting on chalk. He was like, I'm taking so. His hands are so big. His hands are so big. He's like, I take so much. It takes so much chalk to cover these things. Or maybe like the league voted against it because they were like, guys, the ball is just covered with chalk. There's so much chalk on the ball.
Or maybe he was disrespectful to the fans.
Oh no, I wouldn't mind getting showered in LeBron James's chalk.
Chalk in your beer?
Oh yeah, because I would be fucking right there. I'd be yelling and cheering in his face, and I'd be honored.
I'd be yelling at him and say, "Buy me a beer, man!"
I'd be honored to have LeBron James's chalk just get all up in my beard, in my hair, and then I kind of shake my hair, and it keeps going. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't even look at him.
So you're telling me that you have courtside seats at the Staples Center directly in front of where LeBron James does the chalk, and you're not even looking. You are actively, and keep in mind, this guy's like 6'9", 250, so you have to like actively look away.
I'll stand up and turn my back to him.
You're going to stand up, turn the other direction, and then
take a selfie, pretend that I don't notice him. Like, hey, LeBron, can you get out of my shot? You're blocking my shot,
What are you doing courtside at a Lakers game in the first place, then?
They're playing the Raptors.
You're like, LeBron, I can't see Kyle Lowry. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I can't see him.
Tickets in LA because they don't care when Toronto comes to town. So
right. Cheap tickets. That's where all the Canadian celebs go on that one day.
Anyways, yeah, that 6-man tag was fun.
That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know. Babyface has got the win. I mean, I think
tribute match, you got to give him the big feel-good win.
Of course. I think the big takeaway from this was the Big E singles push.
Yeah, slight rebranding. That was my takeaway. And that was it. Good guys win. We move right along. Murphy taking on King Corbin. And I laughed a bit during Murphy's entrance. You know how on SmackDown when the guys come down, they have like the screen and it has like little facts on the side.
I know where you're going.
So Murphy's coming down. The facts pop up. Hometown, Melbourne, Australia. Signature move, Murphy's Law. Girlfriend is Aaliyah Mysterio.
Oh, it's so bad. Isn't this guy like a 2-time Cruiserweight champion?
Cruiserweight champion, NXT tag champion.
Or even just put a thing about how much they can bench. I don't care. It can be any small.
And no one else is ever.
Nobody else's third
boyfriend
biggest
or girlfriend is on there.
And so the first one, birthplace, factual. Can't really change it.
Yeah.
Second one, cool. Finisher. You could choose what your finisher is, but again, very factual. Third one was build like an achievement. His biggest achievement in life.
Girlfriend, Aaliyah.
To have Aaliyah Mysterio awkwardly cradle your arm as you make your way down to the ring while you're greased. And okay, now there's a visual thing now between them that gets me, is that he is in wrestling attire, greased up, ready to go, and she's dressed like she's going to the Prada store. It's like seeing those two things directly beside of each other is like too much of a juxtaposition. Because even if Rusev and Lana did it, Lana was dressed in with a blazer that had shoulder pads. You know, something that was meant to maybe look more like a little
Rusev
more
has style,
maybe a little more politically kind of charged, right? Something the way a professional businesswoman would. Where Aaliyah dresses like a thought. And it's too much to have right beside each other, like greased up Australian wrestler and Fashion Nova promoter. It's just too much to have right directly beside each other, and I'm not for it at all. Well, let's get Dominic. Dominic, by the way,
I was about to say, if you thought that was a lot,
a fucking bright pink.
Hot
pink turtleneck with the chain on the outside. Wasn't it a turtleneck? With the chain on the outside, tucked into his black fucking just normal slacks, whatever it was. And he's got these dumb little Harry Potter fucking glasses on. Dumb little haircut. I'd rather not see him at all.
I wonder, did he pick this outfit, or was it like wardrobe backstage?
I fucking hope. Well, he's with Fashion Nova also. They're all just wearing terrible clothing for Instagram hoes. And yeah, the downfall of we should have we should have a shooties category that's like, because of course we have we have the breakout star or rising star kind of category. We should also have the like immediate failure or immediate disappointment category. Like my hopes, I've never had my hopes so high for a professional wrestler and then immediately shattered.
Because of this turtleneck?
Because of this fucking hot pink turtleneck.
Have you ever seen that? It's like a meme now of The Rock wearing a turtleneck and a fanny pack.
Of course, yeah. Classic photo.
That's basically. I think he could turn that into, if he starts making fun of himself, make a meme out of it.
It was like, no, I want that. I want to look like that, but with a pink turtleneck. See, that's where he went wrong.
Yeah.
I used to have an orange turtleneck. I looked fine in it. It wasn't like a bright, popping, fucking neon 80s party orange. It was just like a normal orange.
I never liked the turtleneck. Wearing it, I mean. The look of it is fine.
It's a good look, I mean, it was the only turtleneck I ever owned in my life, so who knows? I'll probably never go back to it.
I always felt like I was being choked.
I don't want my clothes to be enveloping my neck.
But anyways, they had a match, Murphy Corbin, and Corbin's got these two goons that come out with him that you may or may not recognize as Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, the Forgotten Sons.
The Forgotten Sons, forgotten by us, forgotten by the releasing, the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, Jackson Riker was not with them. So anyways, these two goons are here to help out Corbin since he was cheated last week. Murphy's in control. Corbin's goons attack Dominic and Ray, so Murphy tries to help them. Corbin catches him with the end of taste, picks up the win. So hey.
Yeah, that's great. Baron Corbin, dude, you know the amount of respect that we have for Baron Corbin on this show.
That you have.
Yeah, I love. He's fucking on television every single week, and clearly he's doing something right. God support it. I mean, it's not like Chad Gable is making it. If Chad Gable's making a TV every week, you're like, hell yeah, let's go.
I would be hell yeah.
Exactly right. But Baron Corbin keeps on keeping on. Is he's still King Corbin, right? Yeah, we can get rid of that moniker, I think, soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh well, main event. Otis, Kevin Owens taking on Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. But Roman doesn't come out. Got to teach Jey some tough love. So he's fighting 2-on-1, but eventually Roman does come out, beats the shit out of Otis with the stairs, but he's not the legal man, so the ref doesn't DQ him. But I've seen people DQ'd for less.
Oh, of course. What was Asuka DQ'd for like a few months ago?
One time I was like, she literally just ran across the ring or something. Didn't even touch anyone.
It was something dumb, and it was something
really
at a pay-per-view, and it was something that made me go, what? But I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But anyways, now Otis, he's kind of taken out, so tides have turned. It's 2-on-1 against Owens. Uso hits a big super kick, climbs to the top rope for the Uso splash, but Reigns just yells at him to get down and tags in. So Uso gets down, but Owen intercepts him with a stunner, but then Reigns jumps in, beats up Owens, locks in the guillotine, but then the ref does call for the DQ. I don't know, I guess legal men weren't involved. It was whatever. Doesn't matter. Uso just grabs some chairs. They start beating the shit out of Owens. Then, they put a chair on top of him, and Uso hits the big splash, and then Reigns hits Uso with a chair. Just gets mad at him, says, "Why do I trust you every time?" Keep repeating myself as he beats him down. So Reigns stands tall over everyone, just to end the show looking like a bad dog.
It's Jimmy Uso's involvement now is the point where I have no clue what's going on. In his week-to-week status, we don't know if he's actually kind of like, at the table. Because you would think, it was like 2 weeks ago, he's right there to support Jey. But then like this week, not there. Not there at all. Lets him get beat up by the Roman. And then next week, will he be there or not? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, I gotta think he's been gone for a while. It's got to be close to that injury being ready.
Yeah, like I said, the whipping boy thing it doesn't change week to week, or at least it hasn't been. Just great to, I think at the end of this all, we're gonna be like, hey, what was the point of having Jey Uso as the whipping boy? It's gonna come to something.
Yeah. Well, it's already. He's main evented many shows because of this.
Oh yeah, two straight pay-per-views, I think.
Excuse me. But yeah, that was your Smackdown.
Smackdown.
So let's move right along. Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Randy Orton coming out, cuts a promo on The Fiend, and everything's been going on. The Firefly Funhouse pops up on the screen, and Bray says he's by himself this week because Randy was so mean to Alexa. Then he transforms into a little game show. Let's get Randy and the puppets play, and I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Nobody ends up winning. Orton challenges Bray Wyatt to a match tonight. Not The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. So that'll happen.
But it's going to be Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Regular Bray.
Regular old Bray. That's fun. I guess, you want to keep those viewers for that third hour of Raw. Fucking tell them in the first. Hey, if you keep watching this show, you're going to see something you're going to want to see. And they did exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Then we go to Asuka taking on Shayna Baszler. Of course, Lana and Nia Jax are on the outside of the ring. And they do announce that Lana and Asuka are officially getting a tag title shot at TLC. So I'm very pumped for that.
Yeah. I know you are.
Anyways,
I know you are.
Yeah. But Asuka Shayna's the first time these two have ever fought. So one of the big title feuds in the future that they're saving. But they have a nice little technical match here. Both of them very proficient in the submission game. Asuka's looking for that Asuka lock. But outside, Lana's cheering her on. But Big Bad Nia attacks Lana. Lana fights back, though. Throws Nia into the stairs. She jumps off the steps, going for like a Meteora. But Nia catches her. Looks to powerbomb onto the announce table. But Lana reverses it with a Hurricanrana. A Hurricanrana, if you will, which slams Nia into the table, and this whole commotion distracts Baszler, and Asuka rolls her up for the 3. So, hey, that happens on TLC. We got a new champ.
You'd have a new champ. Yeah, this weird thing keeps happening to me where it's like, and I think we got the same thing last week or whenever these kind of four all meet up, Shayna and Asuka do the heavy lifting. And then leave these little moments for Nia Jax and Lana to be slept in there. Because I get it. And this match was no different. Asuka and Baszler, they did the heavy lifting. Their time kind of gets cut short because that is clearly the bigger match in the future. Is Asuka and Shayna, or at least, it seems as though that's clear to me. However, as a result of this, though, it's weird. It's like Shayna's the one who's going to be in the bigger match later. But Nia's the one that shit needs to happen now. So Shayna needs to take pins now so Nia can take a big one sooner. Then Shayna can just kind of come back and have the bigger match. It's this weird thing where Shayna Baszler keeps getting pinned. However, I know that her and Asuka is the bigger match down the line.
Yeah, and Lana pinning Nia is the big one for the.
But it's for the kind of like the time being. Yeah, like we said, we could be Mania, can be Asuka Shayna, sure, fantastic. But like for right now, we need Lana to pin Nia. I don't know, such an oddly booked thing. Of course, I said we.
Wow, I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced about my.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I kid. She broke that table streak at least. We haven't seen her go through a table.
Of course, yeah. Well, 9-1. That was the that was her fucking mania. Her Taker mania moments.
Yeah. But then we go to some intergender. Actually, no. I mean mixed tag, not intergender. Mm-hmm. Just mixed tag. Slapjack and Reckoning teaming up against Ricochet, Dana Brooke. So hey, I'm happy Reckoning's getting to wrestle again. Dana Brooke's even sporting a black eye from their match last week.
Yeah, we thought that might have been it for them. Or
I don't know. But anyways, Mustafa Ali's on the outside just barking at Reckoning, and she's starting to yell back at him. So some dissension growing there. And this whole distraction allows Dana to grab her, and Dana hits his cool new finishing move. It was like a Death Valley Michinoku Driver.
Ooh.
I'm sure she has a shorter name for it, but that gets her the 3 count. So Dana Brooke looks pretty good here. Mustafa Ali, though, is not happy. Yells at his team for losing, and hey, I'm not happy either that Reckoning has lost her first 2 matches. But I wouldn't mind if this leads to them kicking her out of the group and she can just be Mia Yim.
Well, it feels like this is, her failing and breaking away from the rest of the group, but it doesn't work. And fucking Retribution continues to be the weirdest booked thing.
Yeah.
In professional wrestling, from not having Mustafa Ali as being their leader and then not really getting booked to then like boom, big reveal, it's Mustafa Ali, and then we're still not really getting booked, and then having a member leave and still not really getting booked. And God, who the hell knows? And it seems like Slapjack is the one getting all the time out of these. What about Dijakovic?
Yeah, it's I don't know why.
Like I wonder how they've sort of picked this. And they can't even. It's so weird too. I'm trying to picture all the stables that are going right now, sort of in professional wrestling, and so many of them seem to be on the same page, and or at least their group has a purpose, and Retribution doesn't have a purpose right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Let her free Mia Yim.
Yep.
Anyways, they show a nice little Instagram post from Becky Lynch. Posted the birth of her and Seth Rollins' child. A nice baby girl, future WWE Women's Champion, Rue.
Yeah, let's get that match going. Where's Moxley's kid? Let's get the Moxley baby out here right away. The Seth Rollins baby's already going to be working on their buckle bombs.
So far, it sounds like they've all had women. Mrs. Baby, Daniel Bryan's baby.
The women's division in 25 years is gonna be fucking stacked.
Oh yeah. So there you go, nice little
the Kanellis babies.
Well, who knows?
The Kanellis babies making their way back into the company. They are.
I mean, the Kanellises aren't that legendary.
Well, they're still a part of the lore.
Every wrestler that has a baby now, we can't get too crazy.
They're still a part of the lore, of course, right? The Roderick Strong, Maria Shafir son. He's working his way up the physical ranks. He's probably like 4 now. He's almost ready to go.
We'll see. Miz and Morrison in the ring for Miz TV, and they bring out their guests, AJ Styles and Omos, and Miz and Morrison sucking up. They're dancing. They're singing along to AJ's theme, trying to be real friendly with him so he can help him cash in. They talk about AJ facing Drew for the title in 2 weeks and start insulting Drew and Sheamus, just putting on accents, mocking them. It was a little funny. Morrison was kind of funny with his.
Yeah, John Morrison, he's pretty good. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's fine. But Sheamus, he's seen enough. He comes out, gives his rebuttal, and then Drew McIntyre comes out to stand beside him. And Miz says he tells Miz, "You got no balls. You're a sidekick bitch." And anyways, they all start brawling. Sheamus and Drew stand tall, and Drew picks up Miz's briefcase and just chucks it. Pretty good toss. Hits an LED board.
Breaks it for a second. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, how much does each board cost?
Yeah, a couple hundred.
Couple hundred?
1,000.
That's not too bad.
That's 1,000 at least. Yeah.
I was going to say. Then we go singles action. Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, 1-on-1. Just kind of continue this New Day Hurt Business feud. Pretty quick little match. Shelton's outside, beats a count out at 9, but he runs right into the Trouble in Paradise, so Kingston gets the win. But after Cedric Alexander gets on the mic and tells him, "Get back here, let's have a fight." So we just jump right in. Kofi, Cedric. During the commercial break, I guess Kofi had a awkward landing from a monkey flip, so he's selling his leg. So Cedric's working over the leg and eventually hits a lumbar check, gets a 3 count. It's a nice little win for Cedric.
Yeah, nice little win. And they had the tag match before. They're going to have it again. TLC is itching for a ladder match.
Yeah, let them have it. That'll be fun. But then we got a 3-on-2 handicap match. Miz, Mo, and AJ against Drew and Sheamus. They may be outnumbered, but Drew and Sheamus certainly have that size strength advantage here. And early on, though, there's some controversy. Miz ducks a punch, causing Sheamus to hit Drew. And Yeah, but so, hitting your partner accidentally, but was it? Who knows? And eventually happens again is Sheamus goes for a brogue kick on Morrison, but he avoids it. Sheamus hits Drew, and then he turns around to a phenomenal forearm from AJ. So the heels get the win.
Oh, big ol' heels get the win. AJ Drew is the matchup we're getting at TLC.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then they announced that next week, Lana is going to face Nia Jax one-on-one. So Lana's pretty scared about this. Talking to Asuka backstage. But Asuka's good friend hypes her up, saying, I believe in myself. I believe I can beat Nia Jax. Lana repeats her. We will become women's tag champs. And then Lana turns around and Nia is just standing there shaking her head. Like a big...
Yeah, we'll see him next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Backstage, Charlie is interviewing Sheamus about him broke kicking Drew. And he says, I know Drew's going to come back here and try to kick my ass for that. And I'll try to kick his ass, but it wasn't intentional. And then Drew walks up, stares him down. We go to commercial. We come back, and they're both just brawling until Pat Buck tries to break it up, and they both put him through a table together. And then they just seem to make up and agree to go out for a bunch of pints.
Like a couple good lads.
Yeah, let's go for some points. Then we get Bobby Lashley taking on Jeff Hardy. But before the match begins, backstage, Riddle talks to Jeff, proposes that they tag together and become the Hardy Bros. And Jeff's like, all right, I like it, man, but I gotta go. Got a match. So Riddle says, okay, man. You didn't get one of my bro nuts, though. He's got a big pack of donuts, the bro nuts. Are they weed donuts?
Probably not, if in Jeff's sobriety.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's why he turned it down.
Yeah, probably. Can't take anything.
I mean, Riddle, they're bro nuts. Anyways, more for me, Riddle says. On to the match. Hardy's looking good. He goes for the whisper in the wind, but then MVP jumps on the apron to distract him. So Riddle runs out, attacks MVP. So Bobby and Jeff go back and forth. Jeff hits a twist of fate, goes for the swanton, but then Lashley avoids it, hits a spear, then the hurt lock to get the submission win.
Yeah, way to go, bud.
So yeah, Lashley's just kind of hanging on.
Yeah,
like you mentioned.
Lashley's hanging on, and yeah, like we've mentioned before, nobody wants it.
US title.
Nobody wants it.
Yeah, U.S. title. We need some more contenders.
Yeah, nobody wants it.
I mean, why this? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, because our main title scene right now, or I guess like this title, the WWE Championship. So we have Drew and AJ, but clearly Sheamus wants a piece of the pie. The Miz has the briefcase. John Morrison goes everywhere he goes. And then I'm trying to think about what.
Yeah,
and then we had Randy and Bray, and then the tag match. Like we didn't have anybody else on the card. Who else? Who else do we have?
Yeah, we need a chairs match. We need a tables match still. So I don't know who the hell's in line for this U.S. title right now.
We'll see.
They haven't built anyone up.
Yeah, they really haven't.
Oh, well, let's go to the main events. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. Bray, though, not in his usual red sweater. Going with a brown this week.
Yep, changing it up.
Change it up. Yeah, I mean, you got to wash things. But starts off as his timid little funhouse self. Randy's in control. But then Bray gets more aggressive as it goes on. Starts fighting back. Until Orton hits his big draping DDT. And he's ready to hit the RKO when the lights start shutting down. But he hits the RKO anyways, goes for the pin, but the lights fully go out. And when the lights turn back on, Orton, he's now covering the Fiend, who sits up, locks in the mandible claw, and just stands over Orton to end the show.
How'd he do that?
I mean, they say it's live, but maybe that part was taped.
There was that little pre-taped bit there. Yeah. That was great. That was so much fun. Because I don't see how he could have
got the contact lenses in that.
Yeah, and there's probably some makeup that kind of gets added on. That was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was such a great way to. That was such a great way to end the show. Kind of keeps the momentum going for everybody. Like that's not a lose or a win. That's almost like a split decision. That last match. Or not. It's not quite a no contest. Draw. Both guys won.
It's a push.
Yeah, it's a push. It's a skin. If we're playing skins, this is a push.
Yeah, you don't get your money back. We're gonna put your bet on the next match.
Exactly. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no Alexa this week, but that was okay.
Yeah,
that was fine.
Not sure.
That's it.
That was it.
That's That's Raw. That's the first half of the show.
The first half of the show. Mike, we should take a break.
Let's do that.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We've got trivia Wednesday night, so stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
We're back with the show here, folks. Part 2 of the show. It's the Wednesday night portion. One could call it.
Usually, that's the way she goes.
I think if we ever find like kind of when we decide this has to be 2 shows a week, part 1 and 2 would probably be the place that we would try to split it at.
Yeah, I think that would.
We would do like.
I think there's been a couple times we've done 2 shows in a week.
Yeah, it used to be like on like a 5-day. A 5-day cycle or something. So you're always being sure to cover a little bit every single time. But that's beside the point. Let's get into the second half of the show. Let's kick off with our trivia.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia. Woo!
Trivia.
Mike, I have 3 questions for you today.
Well, I've got a mini gauntlet for you.
Mini gauntlet.
Yeah. It'll only be 10 at the most questions.
10 at the most questions. Sounds terrifying. So I'm just going to go right into it. I'm going to run this gauntlet.
You're going to run my gauntlet first. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. We're going to start. I'll tell you what it is. That's how we start.
Perfect.
But I picked something that I know you have been around for the entire history of. You personally. So, sometimes I pick things that you weren't around for, but you still know. But today we're talking about the NXT North American Championship.
Oh.
Because we're gonna start at the beginning, and we're going to go through every single title change in that belt's history. There's only been 10. But let's start from the top. Who was the inaugural NXT North American Champion?
It was Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby. That ladder match. That's right.
My top match ever. If those can recall the.
I remember it being in the top 5. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 1.
Oh, baby!
Haven't rewatched the episode yet. Sorry, folks. But yes, Adam Cole, baby. He won that belt. He held it for 133 days, and then lost it to.
Fuck. Okay, he never won it back. So, what would have happened to it?
You get 3 strikes in this game.
In the whole game.
So Adam Cole wins it.
It would have been Adam Cole loses the belt to Ricochet in that match where Ricochet goes for like the back handspring, or he goes for like the moonsault off the top, and then Adam Cole super kicks him on the way down. That's the spot. That's the spot that I remember from that one. Couldn't tell you where or when it was, but it was Ricochet.
That does not matter. It was Ricochet. Yeah, take over Brooklyn 4. You got the exact. So Ricochet gets it. He held it for 161 days, and then he loses it to...
Okay, so this was the moment where... Okay, so there was a thing where like the two results were recorded for the match.
Yes, this
and
was...
I can't remember if it's this. So if it's... so I... So Velveteen Dream was one of the participants in that match. But I'm trying to remember right now if it was with Ricochet or whoever next up would have been.
Well, I will say...
I know. I feel as though you have a question that's pertinent to whatever I just said.
I mean, what you're saying is all realistic things, but maybe not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe soon.
But Ricochet Dream, I feel like I can't see it. But Ricochet, I guess it would have to be Ricochet Johnny Gargano.
I mean, it would have to be. It is Mr. Johnny Gargano. So he wins it, but he only holds it for 4 days and then loses it too.
Right. So I think this was the match with the 2 different...
Yes, 2 endings were
recordings,
taped.
Which means that it was Gargano Dream. Yeah, Gargano Dream.
So is that you're saying Dream wins the belt?
Yeah, that's correct.
That is correct. Dream wins the belt. Then he holds it for a record 231 days before losing it on an episode of NXT to which man?
I'm going to say this is Roderick Strong.
Roddy Strong fulfills the prophecy. I believe he was the last one to win the belt.
Yeah.
I think this was NXT's TV debut, if I recall my history.
Oh, really?
Debuted.
Okay.
He wins the belt. They have all the belts. And he holds it for a nice 126 days and then loses it on television too.
To Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. That's right. Keith Lee holds it for 175 days. And then what happens with Keith Lee?
Then he vacates it because he was double champ.
Yeah, he was double champ. He vacates it. So that's a bonus one. Throw that in there. Then we got to settle this. So at TakeOver 30, they have a 5-way ladder match. And who wins that?
Fuck. It's Gargano or Damian Priest. I just can't remember which one. Okay, so yeah, so I feel like it was Johnny Gargano. No. It was Damian Priest, and then Johnny Gargano, and then Leon Ruff, and now Gargano again.
Well, yeah, that about wraps it up. That was it.
That was it. That was so fun. Fun. You're right. I've since the inception of the entire thing.
I know that you would have at least seen every single one of these matches, some way or another.
Yeah, and
So-
we saw a triple
We've
threat
covered pretty much all
North
of this.
American Championship at NXT Takeover Toronto. It wasn't Roddy. I think Roddy had it, and it didn't change hands.
It did.
But it was Dream, Pete Dunne, and Roddy. That was what we saw.
I think Dream won. Looking at the dates here on my calendar, because Roddy Strong won it in September, and the pay-per-view would have been in August.
Oh, okay. So Dream Dream retained.
Dream had it and retained. Yeah.
Dream retained.
But
yeah.
anyways, you got it all.
Oh, that was a
That
lot
was
of fun.
it. 10 reigns in the history of the belt, and
That was a
Johnny's
lot.
had 3.
John, yeah, that's he's at 30% of the
Yeah.
of the overall or the overall North American Championship reigns. Okay, Mike, I got questions for you this week. I only have 3 questions here for you. Sting questions.
Sting.
It's Sting.
Okay.
Of course, we're gonna hear from the big man later on our Wednesday Night War. But I have 3 questions for you, Mr. Mike. Okay, first of all, Sting is a 3-time WCW Tag Team Champion with 3 separate people. A soon to be 2-time WWE Hall of Fame, a probable future WWE Hall of Famer, and one person who at this point will probably never make the Hall of Fame. Who are they?
I want to say one of them was. Wait, you said one of them's a 2-time Hall of Famer?
Soon to be 2-time.
Soon to be 2-time? Who is going in this year? I forget because it was so long ago when they delayed it.
I know.
I know there was a group. Was it No, not NWO. Were they going in this year?
I may have heard
I
that.
feel like
I may have heard that.
Okay. First partner, I'm gonna say Sting and Kevin Nash. Pretty sure is the Wolfpack. They won it together.
You got one?
Okay. The other you said is probably a future Hall of Famer.
Future.
So this was WCW. We're talking 3-time tag champ WCW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one's never probably going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
He
at
must
this
be
point, they're probably never going to make it.
so he's probably a bad person, like done something wrong or said something or bad beef with the company, maybe.
Could be.
But there's a lot of people like that. So
I feel like you're describing hundreds of people right now.
yeah. Okay. Let's picture Sting. Oh, one of them, I think, Lex Luger. I'm pretty sure they were good buddies.
Yeah, Lex Luger is probably never going to make the Hall of Fame at this point. So I'll give you them.
I think he might.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I mean, he might not. Dead people take a while.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, he's not dead. I don't know. Maybe he's not.
You have one more.
But I got 2. So the other one is the one that is probably going to make the Hall of Fame, you think?
Yeah.
in your
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay. But they're not yet in.
No.
And they're not yet announced.
I don't even believe they would be eligible.
Okay, so they're probably still young. I don't know. I'm feeding for fishing.
Well, I don't know. It's fucking Sting in WCW. So how
true,
young
so
could they be?
weird.
How young
It's
could
weird.
they be?
Yeah, that's anyways, okay. So Nash, Luger, one more tag champ, thinking of Sting, either the white face paint or the red face paint. Or maybe even early Surfer Sting. Early Surfer Sting. I wouldn't know that as well.
You're stalling.
I am. Okay, let's just pick. Let's say that Sting and Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP's a good guess. The third
Oh wait,
one.
no, he's already in the Hall.
Yeah, you said the name.
It was a bad guess.
Well, I guess.
I guess you can
If you could guess one more, I'm sure you would have said the Big Show or the Giant, whatever you want to know him as. He was what I considered the future.
Oh yeah,
Hall
he's a
of Famer.
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
See, he's a
Hall of
lock.
Famer.
He feels like a lock. Okay, Mike.
All right.
Question number 2 for you. Okay. In Sting's career, he has 2 5-star matches. 2 of them. Both of which had a particular stipulation. This is a multiple choice. You're going to pick which the stipulation was. Okay?
Okay.
Were they 2 World War III matches? Were they 2 Iron Man matches? 2 War Games matches? Or 2 spin the wheel, make the deal matches?
So 2 of the same type of matches he had were both 5 stars.
That is correct.
Okay. I'm gonna probably say not spin the wheel. I know that World War III. That was the one with the 3 rings, I think.
It was something
Three
wild,
rings.
something wild like that.
Yeah, which is like a triple Royal Rumble. I think, but I don't know if those were worth 5 stars. Might have been too crazy. So you got War Games, and what's the other one?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. I don't even think Iron Man was a thing back then. So I'm probably just going to go with War Games here.
Your power of deduction got you. Yeah, that's right. War Games. 91 and 92.
Ooh, yeah. I probably could not name all the members.
Yeah, all sorts of people like that.
All sorts
But yeah, there were Iron Man matches around that time. Sting participated in sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The whole 60-minute?
I don't know what an Iron Man match was, I guess, length of time, but that's what it was considered.
Oh, well, okay.
Anyways, question number 3 for you here. Sting, and of course, Jeff Hardy, involved in one of the most infamous wrestling moments of all time. One could say at Victory Road 2011 when he pinned a drunk Jeff Hardy in a minute 28 to retain...
Not just drunk.
Fucked up.
Yes.
Jeff Hardy to retain the TNA Championship at Victory Road 2011. My question for you, Mike, is what was the stipulation that was tied to that match?
Besides world title?
Besides world title.
Yeah. I think it might have been career. Like if Sting loses, his career's over. So I'll go with that.
Sorry, it was... You are incorrect, Mike. It was actually a no DQ, Mike. No DQ.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I didn't follow TNA too closely at the time, but of course I saw that incident. The whole wrestling world saw that incident.
The whole wrestling world saw that incident. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but who knows what the match could have been.
Yeah, I mean, Sting was very disappointed.
Yeah, he hopped
You
on the
could just
mic
see
and
the
he's
way-
like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The fans chant bullshit, and he's like, I agree.
I agree. This was
And the
bullshit.
stare, he stares death into Hardy.
Oh, yeah. This is just sad.
he-
Such
like,
a
after the
sad
pin, it was
clip
just-
watching in retrospect.
Yeah,
And
there's a really good... there's a really
Bischoff is
good-
there, too. And
Oh, yeah. The WWE 24 on the Hardy Boys is really good because they have all that TNA footage they get to use. So they cover that in depth and just go over all the dark stuff, but it's really interesting.
Wait, they have the TNA footage?
Yeah, I think they're on pretty... At least at this stuff, they like have a bunch of... Dixie Carter's even in the thing.
I think
So sit
I
down
thought
and-
Impact had the TNA stuff.
I don't know. I guess for this special, they licensed stuff.
Was it all this stuff after Jeff Hardy came back to TNA after that incident, where it's him backstage getting lectures from other professional wrestlers? Have you seen these clips?
Maybe.
Okay,
I
I need to find them and show them to you.
Like,
so
is it a real? Like, real?
No,
Like,
so what-
lecture hanger, or is it part of the show?
it's like it's a work, but it's meant to be filmed like a shoot. And so it was TNA. So after, I guess there was whatever sort of drama and fallout, and then he returns to television on TNA, right? And then it's all like this hastily, or, you know, the kind of, it's as if the camera guys are just catching them at this intimate moment, you know, backstage or something. And it comes up to them. There's one with AJ. There's one with the Dudley Boys 2 or 3D.
Just like, hey man, you got to clean up.
Yeah, and it's 5 minutes. Honestly, it's like the one with AJ is like 4 minutes of him just like yelling at Jeff Hardy like he's a dad and his son just came home drunk from his first party. Talking about, you know, like, I had to work my ass off in this company industry. You came in, you know, money, blah blah blah, all that kind of thing. And then Jeff Hardy's kind of there. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. If you can't tell right now, I'm rubbing my hands together in that way that he does when he thinks. Yeah,
he does that.
I understand. And then like later on, the show keeps going. And then later on, it's the Dudley Boys. Like, we had so much together. You could have called me. Like, you were at my daughter's birthday. And Jeff Hardy's just like, I know. Like, and it was almost like, oh my god, dude. This is like, is this part of rehab? I'm not sure.
He has had a wild ride.
That was our trivia, though. Let's kick off our Wednesday Night War. Let's go right into it because we had the big news. Let's start talking about some All Elite Wrestling.
AEW, All Elite, they coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
We'll recap, I guess, sort of the Tuesday night occurrence, which was pretty much Kenny and Don Callis just chatting about Kenny Omega wants to be the belt collector, that he loves collecting things.
Yeah, he's already got 2, and he says, hey, maybe I'll go after the Impact title. Why not?
So who knows? So that story is ongoing. Still very exciting, though. I don't know if you saw the Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone commercial.
Yeah, the paid advertisement.
Which was also pretty funny.
That was pretty cool. It had like the 80s cheesy vibe.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
background.
I'm Tony Khan. And he was just sitting there in this little, like, he looks like this little, like, nerd. He looks like a little nerd. They should have been
like, hey, I'm Tony and Tony. Like,
the Tony and Tony thing, they're going to get there eventually.
They'll get there.
So, yeah,
nothing.
It
confused me a bit later in the show. Someone says Tony, and I'm like, which Tony are you
never know which Tony they're going to be talking about. But yeah, more on that Impact stuff, I guess, as the time goes on. But it seems as though Don Callis, at least, is here to stay.
Yeah, it was funny. Tony Khan even joked about buying Impact. He's like, hey, maybe I'll buy Impact.
And everyone's like, oh my god, imagine that. I like the Kenny Omega. I like Kenny Omega promos, and sometimes I see people hating on Kenny Omega promos, and I don't get it.
Well, I think I think overall he works better as a heel.
Very much so.
So this was, I like this a lot. I like that they were inside the nice big tour bus. Looks cool.
Yes, I sometimes people don't like just the way Kenny Omega talks. I think he is so much of a character that you have to buy into him. If you're thinking of, a professional wrestler, you have to buy into the world at least, right? Fall into kayfabe for a second, and he's a dream.
Yeah, no, I had no problem with this promo. I hope he does become the collector, like a Thanos.
Imagine that, we see him with the AAA, the Impact, the NWA, because that's such a thing that or it's much smaller indie wrestlers you will see. I remember a picture of like Austin Aries, and he had like 6 belts on him, but they were all from incredibly small promotions, right? Imagine if Kenny just goes all over the place, getting the biggest belts in the world.
So there's what you do. You get those 4, and then obviously the 5th one he wants to go for is the New Japan IWGP Heavyweight title.
Imagine
and who's fighting for that title at Wrestle Kingdom?
What is
Kota
it? It's Kota Ibushi and Naito, right?
Yeah,
no, Tanahashi. Sorry, my bad.
I think it's Naito.
Because they've been it's been double champ for this whole time too. Oh my god! And what's Moxley gonna do? Can we start talking about John Moxley?
Here's what I'm saying.
I'm getting worked up for nothing.
Ibushi wins the heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom, and then Kenny Omega Ibushi for that title because Omega wants the 5th final belt. And then you have an amazing match, Ibushi Omega.
Yeah, it's Naito or Ibushi. They have a matchup on night 1 for the IWGP Heavyweight and IC Championship.
And then they defended the second night against Jay White, I think.
And then Kenny Omega pops up
at the end of the match and goes, "Ah, Ibushi!"
and he smacks him in the face with his 14 belts.
Yeah.
Don Callis has to carry half of them because they're too heavy.
Yeah. Maybe he should get the cleaner woman to start carrying them out for his entrance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They can put them on their brooms as they walk them down to the ring or whatever. But yeah, there you have it. More on the Impact stuff next week. And Mike, of course, we had... And I hate to jinx it, but we had 0 24/7 championship action
wow.
on.
I didn't even notice.
You went right past it, right?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It's like Raw Underground. One day it just stopped and it never came back.
I'll never forget about Raw Underground. But that being said, though, maybe I ask myself if the 24/7 championship feels a little bit skittish because there's some big developments in the news of the Being the Elite championship. Of course, what's his name? John Silver. Still the champ. He's doing a great job, by the way. Potential rising star of the future coming up here on Being the Elite. What you may have missed, there's like this party room that the Dark Order always hang out and drink in. And this week they kind of made a little E.T. Reese's and Pieces with shot glasses for Adam Page to see if he would see if he would walk in. Kind of there was like a little shot glass of whiskey, and he was like, "Oh." A couple steps later, another shot glass of whiskey, slowly leading them into into the bar with the Dark Order. Yeah, because he's going to be in this tag match coming up in a couple weeks. He's got no partners.
Yeah,
right.
Lonely.
So lo and behold, standing behind the bar is Alex Reynolds and John Silver in little cowboy hats, and they're saying things like "Yeehaw, partner, we want to be your tag champ. Yeehaw!"
Didn't this happen on Dynamite?
This happened on Being the Elite, but did they
showed it on Dynamite?
They showed it last night too.
I swear I saw this.
Well, there you go. Well, I guess we are going to get that, which they just show him Being the Elite. But the more important thing is determining the next challenger for the Being the Elite Championship. I think that's a little more important.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, this happened on Dynamite, right? Was Alex Marvez there?
Yeah, they could have shown it twice. That's
I don't know. I remember the cowboy hats and the hee-haw and
they show things twice sometimes.
Okay, no, I'm just making
of course, like little promotions like that or things kind of leading in. So yeah. But anyways, more important things. We need a new number 1 contender for this Being the Elite Championship. Where Evil Uno suggests, why don't we play a game of Uno?
Oh.
So however the game of Uno is played, we have Trent, we have Evil Uno, we have Aaron Solo, and Sean Dean. I don't know, some guy from Dark ends up getting the win. However you win
Sean Dean,
Uno.
upset.
I don't know how you win Uno.
The Leon Ruff of the BTE.
The Leon
title.
Ruff of BTE, exactly. So we're gonna get Sean Dean next week for the championship. Wow.
It'll keep us updated.
Yeah, oh, man, it's exciting shit going on between the mustard, the hot chip, and the bottle flipping competition. We're really getting places. But let's start the show because we got a lot of stuff. Sting's coming back. We are going to hear from Kenny Omega, and we have this match that's been being hyped for, I guess, like a few weeks now. It seems like the Young Bucks and TH2.
Yeah, they've been beefing.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so non-title match, though, but some good wrestling still. The Hybrid, they put up a good fight, but they're not quite ready for the titles yet. So, Bucks, they hit this massive double spike tombstone pile driver to the floor. The Indie Taker, they call it sometimes. That was cool. The Indie Taker. But then back in the ring, they hit the BTE trigger on Angelico, and that gets them the win. And then I think after the match, the Acclaimed try to jump him real quick, but then SCU chase him off. So,
yeah, this was a classic. The refs have no control over the match type of match that we've
lately.
come to learn and love from AEW. And also one of those matches, it seemed to go on for a long time, and there were a lot of big moves. They're like, oh, that's it. And then, no, he kicked out. I'm like, oh, Jesus, what? Oh, that was it. Oh, what? Yeah, but I guess that's the system they have sort of on AEW maybe. You work a little bit on Dark, come up, work a little bit on the main roster, then what? Back down to Dark? Or, I mean, even just looking at kind of the card for this show, all familiar, all the same old faces.
Yeah, mostly. Mm-hmm. And then we get good old Tony Schiavone in the ring with Cody and Arn Anderson. And he asks them about Sting showing up last week. But before Cody can answer, the lights go out. Sting entrance hits, so he comes out. And Arn Anderson just says, well, I'm not needed here. So he leaves. And Tony does the same. He just hands the mic over to Sting. But Sting is so happy to see his old friend Tony, so he gives him a big hug, puts his arm over his pal and says, let's do it one time. And Tony does the whole, it's Sting!
It's Sting!
Yeah. So then he gives Cody gets on the mic and thanks Sting for the assist last week, and he's been waiting to share a ring with him for a very long time. But Sting says, Cody, I'm not here for you. At least not right now. There's something really familiar about this place. And he points up into the stands to Darby Allin, who, much like Sting, is another silent, brooding, face-painted character, likes to hang out in the rafters.
Things like that.
Yeah. So
wears a lot of black leather.
Exactly. But the Stinger has come full circle, and once again he's in TNT. He's officially signed with AEW, and he plans on being close to the fans and this promotion for a long time. And the way I choose to play it, Cody, is my business. And then he puts his arm around Cody, pulls him in close, says, see you around, kid. So, woo! Little tease. I've heard that Sting does plan on wrestling in some capacity.
Who the heck knows? Great voice, though.
Yeah, he's got a cool voice.
Such a great voice comes out
like
of that gaunt, angular jawline. I mean, I'm sure it's like, it's like Freddie Mercury's mouth was, jaw was so big and the teeth sort of the way that propels the sound forward. Sting's no different. There's something about those cheekbones.
Yeah. And the face paint just brings it out even more.
And what's he, does he want to fight Darby or manage him? Does he want to be his friend or foe?
Maybe a tag team match. They can protect Sting.
Are they father and son? We need a who's the daddy angle. We need our first who's the daddy angle in AEW. Let's make it this one.
It'll happen.
Let's make it this one. Why not?
Could be. But yeah, tag team match. That way you can protect Sting, have him tag in, hit a couple moves.
And Cody was given a little bit of a sass back to him. It seemed like Sting just came out and he was like, hey guys, I'm back. And Cody
like, hey.
Cody didn't really like that by the face of it.
Well, Sting was giving him some sass. And, see you around, kid. Maybe I'll fight you one day if I care enough. But then we move on to tag team action. The Varsity Blondes. I think it's Brian Pillman Jr. and I forget.
Griff Garrison.
There you go.
Griff Garrison.
Double G. Taking on FTR, who I feel like we haven't seen in about a month since they lost the belt.
Well, since they lost the belt, right?
Yeah. Still one of the top teams going, though. They have a good match. Dax hits a nice brain buster, and soon after the Goodnight Express, they get the 3 count. So keep them looking strong.
Yep, the Varsity Blondes, though. I like that. Brian Pillman Jr.'s got a fucking mullet for the ages.
Yeah, it's like his father, Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes. I'm sure that's inspired by it.
I'm sure, it probably is.
Then we get Dark Order's number 10 taking on Dustin Rhodes.
I like number 10.
Yeah, I forget his real name, but they mentioned it.
It's something.
It's like Vance.
Yeah.
Vance Dance.
Either way, number 10 is the one always in matches.
He was looking good. Yeah, he was looking pretty good in this match. He was in control, but Dustin fights back. The finish was weird. Dustin hits a running bulldog
and then that was
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
the 3.
It was like, oh, okay, whatever.
I don't know if someone got hurt, but it didn't seem like. I don't know. It was just weird.
Time.
Yeah, but anyways, afterwards, Dark Order comes out. Evil Uno speaks to Dustin, says he wants to improve his future. Right now, Dustin, you're the 3rd most important Rhodes in AEW, so we can help you. Will you take your rightful place as 7 of the Dark Order, which is interesting. I don't know if you know Dustin played a character named Seven in WCW.
Oh, really?
Very briefly, yeah.
Okay.
It's like he wore all this white face paint with a black Undertaker coat and hat.
I'm down. Let's go, number 7. Let's go.
So anyways, he says, what do you say, Seven? Uno asks. He raises his little hand he does the Dark Order pose. Dustin's thinking about it. He lifts his hand, but then slaps Uno in the face. So the other Dark Order members go to jump in, but Uno tells him to back off. Just tells Dustin, when you see the light and understand, you'll come begging for it. So I like these developments. If Dark Order were to pick up both Hangman and Dustin, that'd be huge.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Brody Lee can also return soon,
yeah, he must be hurt.
I don't know. You know what I learned the other day. Speaking of 39-year-old Damian Priest, soon to be 41-year-old Mr. Brody Lee.
Yeah, well, he's been gone like 2 months now.
His birthday's like next week, isn't? Or it's wild.
Christmas birthday?
Nah, something like that. But yeah, because without a leader, really, they're certainly more comedic than anything.
Yeah.
But at least they're all committed to each other, and they're not being broken up.
No, they're trying to
selling merch.
recruit.
They're still trying to recruit, and yeah, Brody Lee, fucking Hangman, and Dustin coming back. Let's say maybe around the same time.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Immediate top stable. One of the immediate top stables in the company.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Then we go to a sit-down interview with Tony. He's got Brandy Rhodes and Shaquille O'Neal in the house. Because remember. Yes, friend Jade Cargill mentioned him a few weeks ago, so Shaq talks about her, and
she broke Brandy's arm.
She broke Brandy's arm, and he says, I didn't appreciate what he did to your arm, Brandy, but yeah, Brandy's rocking a sling, and she wants to squash any beef before anybody else gets hurt. So Shaq says, hey, man, I mean, no disrespect. Wrestlers are the best athletes in the world. I love Cody. I love his brother. I love his father. But you and Jade, I can't wait to see that one. I'll be there to watch that. And then Brandy Rhodes goes to leave, and Shaq tells her, well, your arm's injured. You should watch Jade get some pointers. And Brandy does not like that. She says, that's a joke, right? You going to disrespect me again? I'm sick of this shit. And then she splashes Shaq with a cup of water, calls him an overgrown asshole, and stomps off.
Why is it that that every single time Brandy talks, it sounds like some kind of Housewives of Miami reality show conversation? I don't know, because I mean, and so much of the women's altercations feel like one of those shows. And Brandy in particular, and I don't know if she has the in-ring ability to back up her words. Certainly not. I mean, which always works.
And her verbal ability isn't that great either. Not that it was terrible.
No. But every time, it feels like one of those type of reality show interactions.
Yeah, the whole water, the splash. Like, Shaq felt like he was acting better. He felt like he was more real.
He's a trained actor. Have you seen Shazam? He's a trained actor.
Oh, God.
He's in Shazam.
Shazam. Yeah. But,
Brandy.
I don't know. I guess this leads to some point. Shaq and Cody are going to wrestle.
He did say that was all just me talking. That was no disrespect.
That was me having fun online.
That was me having a little fun on Twitter.
Yeah. I think it's going to be more than that. I think he's going to have a little match.
Yeah, and I don't know. And the woman on the other side, I don't really know what her kind of deal is yet either.
Yeah, we need to see her fight. I think she's still pretty young, pretty
green. Yeah. I guess that what they're doing? All they're doing with the women's division, just stacking like how bad they are, and then like picking from like the best of the bad chunk.
I don't know.
God,
I don't know. But the Inner Circle come out to the ring because Jericho's got the ultimatum for the group. This could be the last time they are seen together in an AEW ring. So Jericho says either we're working together and we expand, or we break up. Last week was embarrassing. We were all shoving each other. So if you got any grievances, air them right now. So MJF wants to speak first, clear some air. Says he loves every single one of them like brothers. But maybe I might be the issue here. People think I want to break up the group or take over. but I chose to join. I wanted to be part of the greatest faction ever, and that's why it killed me last week when Sammy Guevara, because I love you dearly, the fact that you had betrayed Chris, you were ready to throw the towel in, and Sammy just says, shut the hell up. Screw this guy, Chris. And Jericho's just like, Max, we all watched Dynamite. We saw what you did.
The guy watch it too. He's like, I'm the demo guy.
That was pretty funny. But MJF was like, no, I came down. It's a misunderstanding. I had a sweat on my brow. And anyways, timeout. Ortiz jumps in, says, you and Wardlow are assets. You're great talents. You're definitely beneficial to the group. But as human beings, that's debatable. He said, Wardlow, you're great. Never change. But Max, he's like, you're growing on me. Like a fungus, but you're growing on me. So Ortiz, he's coming around. Tells Sammy to shake his hand. Be the better man. He says, you're better than him, and you know it. Stole MJF's line there. But, yeah, Ortiz has come around, and Maxwell extends his hand. Sammy says, all right, Chris, I trust you. You brought me into AEW. You put me in their circle. I'll shake his hand. But if one more thing goes wrong, then he gets close to MJF and says, I'm telling you. And then he goes right up to Jericho and says, I'm telling you, I quit the inner circle. So, woo! Little slight tease there for Sammy. Little babyface.
Little babyface tease.
But Jericho says, okay, shake his hand. And he does. So the deal's done. Jericho says, everything's cool now. But Jake Hager just says, I got a question. Why is Wardlow staring at me? And Wardlow says, you've been staring at me since I started in this company. And they just start yelling back and forth. And Jericho says, how about we all agree to stop staring at each other? They agree, but they're still doing side eyes. Jericho says, we're good. We need to continue to build, grow, dominate. So MJF just steals the spotlight at the end, mentioning his match with Orange Cassidy later in the Diamond Ring. Jericho says, Max, you're ruining it. So anyways, they all agree to continue. They put in their middle fingers together, doing their pose. So they're together.
They're together for now. This, I feel like the segment looked great on paper.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone expected them to break up anyways.
Yeah, so it's sort of, we had a chunk of time. Didn't really do much for the story.
Yeah, for me, the biggest part was Ortiz, just establishing now that he's cool with MJF.
Yeah, Ortiz being cool with MJF, or Wardlow Hager make it happen, or biggest swerve is Chris Jericho's trying to break up the inner circle for some reason.
I don't know, but either way,
yeah. Either way, they need to shit or get off the pot because, I
think it does lead to Sammy Guevara being kicked out at some point.
That's cool, but yeah, let's make it happen because I feel like there's too many. We're spending too much time on it.
Yeah, I guess what's the next? They announced like a bunch of shows. They got a Christmas Bash show and then a two-part
there's
New
a
Year's Eve
two-part
show.
New Year's Eve show that I guess I can't remember what days they sort of. It's not quite on New Year's Eve, I don't think.
No, it's like the 5th. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
the 3rd
or
the 6th and the 30th or
30th?
something. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll book something for that with the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyways, let's go to 6-man action. Eddie Kingston, Butcher Blade taking on Phoenix, Pentagon, and Lance Archer. But early on, Butcher just puts Penta through the timekeeper's table, so he's out of the match. It's 3-on-2. Archer's in, but he gets taken out. So now it's just like 3-on-1 against Rey Fenix. And he tries to put up a fight, but Butcher and Blade hit their powerbomb neckbreaker, get the win. And then afterwards, I think Archer just comes back and beats everyone up.
And destroys everybody at the end. Well, yeah, one week of build feels like a blood feud, though. Yeah, Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston.
Where was Pac this week?
Pac! Where was Pac? That's a good question.
Oh, well. We cut backstage, and I think Red Velvet's being attacked by Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill. So Serena Deeb and Big Swole show up, and then Ivelisse and Diamante show up, and that was it for them.
Okay, so we got all the women on. We got all the women on TV this week. That's a little bit better. We got them all on television, and
then we get our one-woman's
the bunny
match.
was there.
Our weekly allowance of women's wrestling is Abaddon taking on Tesha Price. This poor sweet Tesha. She looks like a nice girl, but she looks freaked out the hell out because this crazy Abaddon just comes out dripping blood from her mouth and looking cool as hell.
Yeah.
And Abaddon just dominates. Tesha, just looking like a monster, gets a quick, easy win after hitting the awesome finisher, the Widow's Peak. I've always loved that move. And after the match, Abaddon continues the assault until Hikaru Shida comes out with a kendo stick, and she just smacks Abaddon right in the head, knocks her down. But then Abaddon does the old monster sit-up, so Shida and Tesha just get the fuck out of there.
As if she just heard that big dong.
Yeah, the
Just sat
Undertaker,
right up.
the cane.
Do we know anything about this Abaddon? She's creepy and she's around, and that's about it, right?
So far, I don't think there's a lot of backstory, or if there is, anyone that knows it's already dead.
Yeah, our women's action. I guess.
How do they do that? Like her one eye is like fully colored. Is that like a giant contact?
Yeah, I've wondered how sort of her thing in general. Yeah,
Or
I'm
does
sure
she
she
like
has.
put color?
Or you have two different contacts, one that's huge and one that's like normal sized.
Because I heard, Jim Carrey and the Grinch.
Yeah, of course.
I've heard like his green eyes. They would like put in contacts, and then he would also put in like coloring, so he'd have like coloring drops on his fucking eyes to turn them green. And he said it was very painful, and he hated it.
Wow.
Fun fact, but if Abaddon does that every week for her wrestling, hey, good for her.
I mean, why the hell not? Yeah, the women's division is in a slump, so anything to bring it up.
Yeah. Then we go backstage, we cut to the parking lot where AEW champion Kenny Omega and Don Callis arrive by helicopter. It's looking cool.
That's
as
a
hell.
bold move.
Yeah, looking real cool. It's dangerous in this day and age. But they make their way to the ring. Tony is waiting to interview them, and Tony says he was disgusted by what happened last week on Dynamite. Callis says, you're just like everyone else. You're upset. The fans are upset. But Don starts speaking to Tony Khan then directly and says, hey, welcome to the business, kid. And talks about Kenny appearing on Impact and how they've been planning this together for years now. Then he hands the mic over to Kenny, who just kind of reiterates what Don says. And yeah, they've been planning it. It's the golden screw job.
The golden
so much more
screw
coming.
job?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville better, but hey.
I guess so. But there's so much more coming, and he closes with his line, goodbye and good night. Bang.
Bang.
And he shoots.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've heard that.
Cleaner.
I think it might have
Full-on
actually,
cleaner.
I think it might actually been since the first Fighter Fest. He
Like the
when he did the
before Dynamite.
Yeah, when he did the he did boyoyoing. Remember that?
Boy,
Remember that because it was like a fundraiser for like victims of gun violence. So
Yeah.
he went like yeah. And
Yeah, 'cause he
good
didn't want to-
night. Boing. And the shirt,
funny.
there was a shirt. It was like a little spring. It was like the little it was a great shirt.
I didn't. That's funny. I didn't remember that.
It's the little details, baby. But that's right. Kenny Omega, official heel.
Official heel.
which is-
Don Callis doing a great job as his buddy.
Which is really what we needed after this almost year-long run of Jon Moxley being the top babyface in the company, on the planet, one could even say. He owned this entire. He owned the
He did
world.
a great job, and now's the time. Timing's good. Kenny's ready for a great run with the belt.
Kenny's ready for it. Who knows when we'll see Moxley next?
Yeah, I guess he. I don't know. Have we seen him since he lost? Did he appear this week?
No, but he is with child soon. Is it
probably
worth?
still like 6 months?
Yeah, is it
away.
worth him to come back for? It could be worth it for him to come back for a 4-month feud or whatever that is. But yeah, Kenny. It feels like Kenny's biggest priorities isn't even in AEW right now.
He just wants to collect.
Yeah.
Grab more belts.
So
And, hey.
there's no number one contender. There won't be for a little while. But of course, management's going to have to start to make number one contenders.
Yeah, they'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But we got other things to figure out. The main event, MJF taking on Orange Cassidy for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF's, got to put it on the line here. He's in control early on. He hits an innovative move where he does a powerbomb on the outside, but he stuffs Orange Cassidy's hand into his back pocket and then powerbombs him on the edge of the ring. So crushes his hand under his own weight.
Ooh.
He works over that hand, So then, throughout the match, just behind the ref's back, the Inner Circle are jumping in, beating down Orange Cassidy. But of course, amateur referee Bryce Ramsberg doesn't see a thing.
Amateur ref.
But the best friends don't like it, so they run into the back. They bring out a bunch of the baby faces for reinforcements, help even the numbers. But then Orange Cassidy, he starts having a comeback, getting a bunch of moves in. He hits a big flipping senton to the floor, takes out all the inner circle, goes back into the ring, but then MJF hits the heat seeker, goes for the pin with the foot on the ropes, but the ref catches him. So, he shoves the best friends. They start arguing with the ref. So Max calls for the baseball bat. They toss it into him. He tries to do the old heel trick, slams it on the ground, tosses it to Orange Cassidy. But Orange doesn't even catch the bat. He just stands there, puts his hands in his pockets. And then he falls down as MJF picks the bat back up. So he got him, but the ref turns around, grabs the bat, tosses it away. And then Orange Cassidy hits the beach break. Somehow MJF kicks out at 2. I wasn't expecting that.
I thought that was it. I was thinking, is this a no, or like a what's the championship's advantage rule on a match like this?
I think the DQ would have ended it.
That's what I think, and Orange Cassidy would have walked away.
Yeah, I think Bryce was just like, I didn't technically see the hit, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he kicks out of the beach break, and then MJF tries to go for the salt of the earth on that injured hand. But Cassidy escapes and then hits a huge orange punch. But MJF kicks out again. I couldn't believe it. They fooled me twice. Shame on me. But it was great. It was a huge, big near fall. Orange Cassidy then hits another orange punch, goes for the pin. But this time Wardlow saves MJF, puts his foot on the rope. So then this causes a big brawl outside the ring. All the faces and heels start fighting. And, of course, stupid Bryce Remsburg, once again with his back turned, allows Miro to come running out, gets in the ring, nails Orange Cassidy with a huge clothesline, turning him inside out. And then he drapes MJF's arm over the fallen Cassidy, and the ref makes a 3 count. MJF holds onto his diamond ring for another year.
Holds on to it.
Yeah. And afterwards, Miro just starts beating up security guards, tosses the guy off the stage. So was this just because he hates Orange Cassidy, or was he helping?
I don't know. There was a lot of moving parts this entire match, it felt like, with the best friends and Inner Circle standing by, and then the bat spot that I totally thought was going to be the end. They had me.
They tricked me like 3 times.
Yeah, but MJF and Cassidy kind of kept their focus and did a great job together.
I'm happy, though, with MJF keeping it. I don't think Cassidy would have done much with the diamond ring.
Yeah,
he would have just acted like he didn't care about it.
Well, yeah, and that was kind of it, exactly. And then that bit can only go so far, and we've said before about, are we overexposed to Orange Cassidy right now? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Also, kind of a rare thing for AEW. 2 back-to-back weeks of screwjob finishes in the main event. But not that I'm complaining, just out of character.
Bit of a screw job. Yeah, less clean.
I don't mind it, though. I'm still happy with the result. So.
And yeah, for MJF to hold on to this thing for 2 years just really speaks volumes to his character. MJF can move on, still tout that he's the best. And yeah, Orange Cassidy best friends against Miro and fucking Kip and someone else or something.
Yeah, they'll figure that
out.
Well,
this was our Miro appearance after his huge battle royal just the other week.
He had his Versace shirt on.
Yeah.
Every week he wears like $1,000.
Yeah, it's like Gucci this and Prada that. So weird.
It's weird. Yeah. But that was it. That was your weekly bowl of dynamite.
Our a healthy bowl of dynamite. Let's
2 scoops of greatness in every bowl of dynamite.
2 scoops of professional wrestling and every scoop of dynamite. Well, now it's time to fire up the grill, get a couple buns, and slap, some big ol' NXT down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you're saying AEW is the breakfast, we're moving on to dinner.
Yeah, let's skip lunch. I ate a lot. I ate a lot earlier, so let's skip lunch. We'll go straight.
As often people do.
We'll go straight.
Some people
we'll go
have
straight
to work through their lunch.
We'll go straight to dinner. We're talking NXT.
NXT. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT. Watch and see. Out a tap, out a count, out a 1, 2, 3. So
Coming off of War Games. You know who's been absent for months? Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, the NXT champion.
He's the fucking
still the
champion for some reason, and
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bike chain in his jaw.
and he's ready to party.
He's here. He says the time for team sports is over. The champion's back, and you want to get to know me, come see me in this ring.
And actually, Finn, I got to stop you there. Time for team sports is actually perfect time right now. The National Football League is still going. The NBA preseason starts tomorrow night.
Well, I think you meant wrestling.
Oh, sorry.
Survivor Series is over.
Sorry. Misunderstood.
No, hey.
Misunderstood.
Real sport.
Misunderstood.
No, that's fair. Peter Dunne comes out next. He says, hey, man, I want a piece of that. You know, we're similar. We both come from overseas. We both made our name here. So welcome back. But it's only a matter of time before I'm grabbing that title. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes out, the man who did put Finn on the shelf and, you know, cuts a promo about wanting to be in that conversation. And, yeah, you technically won, but you've been eating your meals through a straw for the last 2 months because of me. So we got some unfinished business. Mm-hmm. And then Damian Priest comes out because he wants in on this. So everyone's in the ring. They're all bickering. Finn just kind of walks away. And at the top of the ramp, he announces that January 6th, New Year's Evil, he will defend the NXT title. And William Regal can figure out who it's going to be against.
A lot of evil stuff. NXT is clearly going to for the goth kid brand, or maybe a lot of their characters.
I mean, the whole
just
arena's black, right?
So many of their characters lend to gothy type imagery. Maybe Shawn Michaels is a big Marilyn Manson fan,
which is weird because they have the older demo compared to Dynamite. You would think it would be the younger kids to that. Or I guess all the goths have grown up now.
Yeah, all the goths are grown up now, and now they're watching Finn.
It's not 2005 anymore, folks.
Wow. It's not? It's not?
Yeah, so anyways, but then Karrion Kross music hits. And the beautiful Scarlett, she comes out, just does a circle around Balor. And he says, I got a message for your boy. Tell him when he's ready, Finn's ready. And he walks off. And then Priest says to Scarlett, hey, Smoke Show. Do you usually tell your boy to wait in the car while you handle business? If he wants a fight, step up like a man. So Scarlett just laughs and walks off. Backstage, Pete Dunne gets attacked by Killian Dane, who's been out for a few weeks, so he's back. But yeah, that was just your big opening segment.
That was a big opening segment. Didn't do much for me. Just kind of really showed how many challengers there are for this championship between, Damian Priest, Dunne. Wait, did I say Damian Priest?
Yeah, he was there.
Yes, okay, I did say that. Sorry, I couldn't remember what I said right there. Kyle O'Reilly, and of course, Karrion Kross, Finn Balor. Okay, so check this out. I'm looking at this right now. I'm on the Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt if you wish. Okay, so August 22nd, Karrion Kross wins the NXT Championship, gets hurt. 16 days later, Finn wins it when he beats Adam Cole. So he's held on to it for 91 days now. Which means that I guess it sort of seems as though the severity of both of their injuries are kind of like the same, or it was almost like by the time Finn kind of recovers and is ready to go, Karrion Kross may also be ready to go, or we're kind of circling around the same time.
But the time that Finn won the belt wasn't the time he got injured.
Exactly. Well, it was like the subsequent time, right? But yeah, what do? Do we strip it and then find a new champion for then both of these guys to come back? How do we play it? But it's nice to see that Finn Balor is at least back and ready to challenge somebody. So
yeah. So they didn't establish how they're going to figure that out.
And like you said, on New Year's Evil. So that's still 3 weeks away of whatever kind of recovery he's going through.
Yeah. So we'll figure out who's going to fight him, but it's probably going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
But then we go to cruiserweight action. Jake Atlas, Isaiah Swerve Scott, who I feel like we haven't seen in a little while.
Yeah, the cruiserweights. I forget about the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah, they're really hot and cold.
Yeah. Yes and no, in and out, up and down.
Exactly.
Black,
Katy
white,
Perry.
wrong, right,
But they had a fun little cruiserweight thing here. Atlas hits a cool move, or is like a vertical suplex into a power bomb. And Swerve gets a couple moves in, goes for a cradle, but Atlas counters into a pin of his own, gets a 3 count. So he's getting a couple wins in a row here. Maybe he'll get a title shot.
Yeah, hopefully. Who knows? Yeah, fucking Buddy has the title. Santos has the title, and
wherever he is.
Yeah, where's he?
But the grizzled young vets are back here, taking on Imperium and Everrise, triple threat tag action. Fun little match here. For me, the story was Everrise actually looking pretty good, coming real close to picking up a win. They had me rooting for them. But grizzled young vets get the win after the ticket to Mayhem.
Ooh.
And hey, they're back.
They are bet and Everrise, the perpetual jobbers. They are NXT's jobbers now.
For now. But I liked it. I like them this week.
Okay.
But then we go backstage. Tony Storm's getting interviewed, and then Io Shirai comes up, and they start fighting, and they fight all the way out to the ring. And Tony tries to run away, but then Ember Moon comes out and stops her, tosses her to Io, so she hits the moonsault. So maybe Tony and Io at New Year's Evil.
Ooh,
why not?
Yeah, this sort of seems like the type of thing where maybe all these titles are going to be on the line in some kind.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a mini takeover type.
Yeah, well, and that's why and we've seen the success that AEW's had with these things. Like their winner is coming. They did their, and then NXT has their Bash at the Beach, and then the other guys had these sort of individual things, especially in the Covidtude era. Fucking works.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Then we go Cameron Grimes
Yeah!
taking on Tommaso Ciampa. And then Timothy Thatcher comes out to watch from the ramp with 5 stitches in his ear, which seems like a lot for an ear. His whole lobe it must have been flapping.
Yeah, who knows? I've never gotten stitches. I've never had my ear ripped off, so I wouldn't know either, I don't think.
Well, they have a pretty fun match here. Grimey's, getting some... He does that shooting star body slam again. Always like that. But then Ciampa, he's in control. He runs out, jumps on the apron... Ciampa's in control when some guy just runs out. Apparently Tyler Russ, or what they call him. I don't
yeah. Russ? Fuck.
I can't.
It was odd.
He runs past Thatcher, tries to jump in, and anyways, the distraction. Grimes tries to take advantage, but then Ciampa hits the Willow's Bell, gets the win. And then after, Ciampa just walks past Thatcher, and he says, I had nothing to do with that guy running in.
Maybe he was one of the Thatch Can guys.
Yeah.
He sent him in there. Timothy Thatcher with his little army. Yeah, fucking Ciampa, Thatcher, book it. Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
Then we get the continuation of our foreign film with Xia Li. She's training herself Ron Bloody in this dark candlelit dojo on one of those wooden things. What are they? Do they have a name?
Well, just a plank.
Beat those wooden sticks up. I don't know. She's beating herself bloody, and meanwhile, Boa is just getting caned in the back repeatedly as their master's yelling at them to go harder, faster.
Yeah, like a real Kill Bill scene.
Yeah, this was actually quite graphic. There were lots of close-ups, all this blood dripping out of them, and I hope this leads to I hope they come back as just these like badass motherfuckers, tough as nails.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still intrigued.
I like the mixed gender stable.
Yeah.
What happened to the mixed gender stable?
I mean, they're allowed to do it, so do it.
You know what I'm saying.
And we still have this mysterious woman in control of it all. We don't know what her deal is, but
exactly.
I assume she's a wrestler.
Oh, Jesus.
Then the new North American champ, Johnny Gargano, comes out with his family, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Austin Theory. Gargano's bragging about his win and Candice's win, putting everyone over in the ring, and says, "We are the way." He keeps saying, "That's the way." So maybe that's the group name, The Way.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He said it a couple times. Johnny says, "If I'm Mr. Takeover, Candice is Miss War Games," after leading her team to a second victory. Johnny says he's got a surprise, and Indy goes to the ropes to grab it. Johnny lifts up the curtain to reveal a trophy, a cheap trophy with a doll on top with green hair, meant to be Shotzi Blackheart. Johnny says he ordered it from Italy. But then Damian Priest comes out to interrupt. He's ready to fight. But then Karrion Kross makes his big return. Attacks Priest from behind. Starts beating him around. And well, a little scary spot when he shoved Priest right into a sharp corner of the LED board.
Yeah.
That scared me. I was like, "Ooh, that was close." But then he picks him up and power bombs him off the stage, and then he goes to the parking lot and drives away with Scarlett.
There you go. The Gargano family.
Yeah, I still
I
like
guess
it.
they're a
fun.
delightful little group. Austin Theory really feels like the odd one out, just because I still think he's British.
Yeah, it was just like when he was the odd one out with the Seth Rollins thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's perpetually
They don't know
the
what to do
odd
with
one
him.
out.
And he was in that random tag title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't know. Anyways, Pete Dunne taking on Killian Dane. They're having a good back and forth when Birch and Lorcan come running out, and they attack Drake, who was watching at ringside. And Drake tries to fend him off with a chair, but they knock him down. So Dane goes out, chases them off, but this whole distraction allows Dunne to hit him with a big kick in the bitter end to get the win.
That easy. Sometimes it's just
that.
easy. Killian Dane. I forget that he exists. Sometimes goes in and out. What happened to Drake Maverick? I think is the bigger.
Wait, he was at ringside.
He was at ringside, but the two of these were, developing their in-ring chemistry together.
Yeah, I don't know why they. Why not just put him in a tag match?
Yeah, I don't really know. But Bruiserweight, let's go. What's next for him?
I don't know. Mm-hmm. But let's go to the main event. Raquel Gonzalez taking on Ember Moon. Just fun main event here. Raquel showing off that strength, but Ember's no slouch either. She's hanging in there. They fight outside the ring, and Ember just starts climbing up the steel beams that are like holding up the set. Are they always there?
I've noticed them before. I think they're still there.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you call those? A girder? No, it's not a girder.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, she's climbing up that thing, but then Raquel just grabs her by the leg, yanks her off, catches her midair, slings Ember just face first into the ring post, goes for the cover, but Moon kicks out. She fights back for a bit, goes for the Eclipse, but Raquel blocks that, and then soon after hits her single arm powerbomb to get the win. So she's on a roll, Raquel. Big win. She pins the champ Io at War Games and wins the main event here tonight. So
the big one-armed power bomb. I feel like when she really wants to hit it, you put that second arm in there. Fucking
looks great. And then after the match, Toni Storm comes out to beat up Ember, but then Rhea Ripley comes back. Rhea and Raquel just have a stare down to end the show.
Yeah,
so they're not done.
Great showcase for Gonzalez in this one.
Yeah, another potential rising star.
The big brutalizer of the NXT women's division. So like we said, what is it? One of the New Year's Evil somewhere around New Year's Day. Her belt's going to be on the line.
Whose belt?
Probably Io Shirai, right? Like if they are giving us this little mini pay-per-view thing, she didn't defend at War Games. I mean, no one defended at War Games, or I guess Leon Ruff did.
Yeah.
I
mean, they were teasing Tony and Io.
Yeah.
So if they want to do Raquel Ripley one more time in between,
give us that one more time.
Yeah. But that's it.
Rhea Ripley's final match in NXT.
We're gonna be seeing that for a while.
Hopefully. Probably.
I don't know.
That was the last match on NXT. What a great show Wednesday night. And that's probably all the time we have here for the podcast.
Yeah.
I think this time we only have for one more thing, and that is the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
This one was tough because War Games, it's such a team event.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was like, do I want to give it to a whole team? And of course, there were the two War Games to deal with. And it's like, fuck. Well, which one of all these things were incredible? Mike, I'm taking the lead on this one. I'm going to give this to the NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. She took the stomp. The cave in of the garbage can, and I was just picturing what it was like to be trapped and like you can't quite push it up.
Don't know when it's coming, just all of a sudden. Whoosh.
And it just suddenly hits you. Wow. That was my favorite spot from the whole night. And then she gets pinned a little bit later on after a big move. Io Shirai, you're my wrestler of the week.
Yeah, she was awesome. The whole match, like you said, everybody has their moments, but we got to pick just one. And I got to go with Io Shirai as well.
Baby.
For all those reasons you said. The crazy spots, jumping off the top, just blind with a trash can around your head. She's fearless. She's amazing. She's Io Shirai. She's this match, this might be a potential match of the year for me, this women's war game.
Wow, there you have it.
Potential.
That's our second straight consensus wrestler of the week too. We're gonna have to start compiling those lists to see who is our kind of individual ultimate wrestler of the week. That's gonna be tough.
Yes, the year is coming to a close soon. We should start finalizing some shooties.
The shooties are coming up.
I know we've both been working on our categories, but we'll pick a date, we'll finalize a list, and it's going to happen soon, folks. The shooties.
The shooties. Can't wait, folks. Thanks for listening to another episode of the podcast. Remember, you can rate, review, like, and subscribe. The podcast is everywhere. Normal week next week. TLC is in like 20 days. We got 10 days. We got all the time.
Not really.
It's next. We have so much time.
Next Sunday.
Before TLC. We don't even have to think about it anymore. And thanks for listening again, folks. We'll be back at this time next week. See you. Bye.
Bye.